Ludwig's a genius
Why is Ludwig a genius?
because his programmer's a genius. So he convinced everybody to install his new plugin for Google Chrome, right?
Right.
Fixed all the connections and stuff. Also, what it did is anytime he's live on YouTube, it shows him live on Twitch in the following list on Twitch
That's wild.
at the top of the list.
Oh my god, that's actually.
I was like, wait, Ludwig's streaming and he's playing game YouTube? What? And I click on it and it's just his Twitch homepage where it says last stream 10 days ago. I'm like,
That's wild.
oh,
He's
it's 'cause
he's
streaming on
just secretly
YouTube.
like pretended to get his stream taken down 3 times in a row so that he has more time to work on shit. That's what's happening.
Yeah. His title is "The Stream Ends When I Get Banned," so
I actually had him show up in one of my YouTube videos because I opened his stream, his like starting soon screen, and didn't realize that it wasn't muted or paused or closed, and started recording. And like 15 minutes into me recording, was just like, "Boys!" I was like, what's happening?"
how's the Rune King game gone so far?
It's really cool. It's actually really cool.
Just unexpected voices always just throw me off so much. Like back, I think it was a couple months ago now. I a lot of times am like in a Roll20 room for maybe 8 hours that I'm not even like. I did something for 2 minutes and I just never closed it.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I just started hearing like faint noises. And it was actually Robert having joined that Roll20 room, and it was picking up his mic as he's just like shuffling things around on the desk. So it's not even words; it's just sounds. And I'm just flipping through like all my tabs, and it's like, no, there's no sound, nothing, none of these should be making sound. And then I eventually heard a word, and it's like, that was a person.
Spooky.
Haunted Roll20.
But it's like it was while I was watching Netflix too, so I didn't like it wasn't like blatantly obvious that things were off. It just slowly like I keep hearing things that don't feel like they're adding up to what I'm seeing.
Excuse me, where'd my cursor go?
Anyway, are we ready to continue?
Rock and roll.
I am.
Yeah.
All right. Would we like to recap what we were doing a month ago when we last played?
A month ago, I was working on a senior project.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We just like cleared out something. We finished clearing out the temple, right? That was the time before last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an awful session where I killed a dude and then proceeded to get my shit kicked in.
Oh, we fought the big bear.
I couldn't hit
remember this
anything.
now.
Oh yeah, we found
No,
the
I
like
thought we've.
bandit hunters or whatever,
Big
and
man.
That's what it was.
Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to bring you back to the last map you're on in case this jogs some memories.
Was this the only thing we did?
I think so. I think we had like a shorter session.
It was a shorter session, and there was a good amount of like the beginning good while was planning for the future and figuring out where you were going to go after you did the next things and just all that planning time, which I'm sure everyone totally remembers.
And we also leveled up, so there was a lot of that throughout the session.
Oh, yep.
I think if there's anything to take from this, the lesson learned is that maybe we should plan less and do more.
Sometimes.
It was also a good-sized fight, so it did take up a fair bit of time just in itself.
Yeah.
We got a big pig.
We were going through, doing some more exploration. We were going back to see who's like in governance of what. We came across Cirlo's area again. Is it Cirlo? I forget the guy's name.
Cirlo is the swashbuckler.
Bounce you back to the map again.
Who works for us now.
Yeah, so we learned that like he's the bandit leader of the place that we thing. And I think we were on the way to him, and then on the way to him, we found a fire at night, and we went to go rest next to it. And those guys came up, and we deduced that they were part of the Stag Lord's gang, and we ended up getting into a fight.
Yep.
You would know Cirlo's area is like this side of the Thorn River, and Imgraf is in this area.
And Cruda is the we were like relatively close. Which one is Cruda?
Cruda Imgraf is the
Imgraf.
Cruda Imgraf is the one who rules this area.
Is he the
you
ugly
just
one
killed his
or
brother.
Oh yeah. Is he the ugly one or the short one? I forget.
He is the ugly one.
Okay.
He is 2 tiles to the southwest.
Okay. I also remember we were talking about potential upgrades to weaponry. I remember conversation about striking runes. Just throwing that out there.
We
I
have
do
a lot
remember
of
that.
magical stuff now that we haven't been able to utilize.
Yes.
That Robert can fashion to our weapons.
Yeah, with a bit of downtime, you can transfer runes at a very small cost of supplies.
We've got 2 potency runes, and we have a striking rune. Because the guy that we just killed, he had a potency striking weapon.
As a quick note, you cannot exceed striking over potency, so you cannot put a striking rune on something that does not also have potency.
Yep.
So we have 1 magic boost weapon potentially.
You have 1 big magic weapon and 1 little magic weapon.
Oh, okay. Oh, we had 2 potency and 1 striking.
Yeah.
And the ability to have recipes for them.
True.
Yeah. Can learn the
That too.
recipes and then construct them for.
And we have a reward to get from our priest friend.
Yeah, I think we were taking a prisoner back to Oleg's, if I remember. I think.
Yeah, we didn't.
No,
kill
we were gonna release him to Cirlo.
Were we?
Okay. In my notes, you have 2 bandits captured. There's a dual wielder that you really don't like, and an archer that you do. Your last stated plan was that the dual wielder is going to Cirlo, and the archer is going to Oleg. Whether
We
you
were
wish
both
to
right.
continue with that is up to you. But that was the last
so
thing you
correct.
said to me.
Sounds fine to me. Yeah, why not?
We decided on it, so I'm good to keep with that decision.
Same.
I don't want to overthink things if we already overthought them last time.
Yep.
Heck yeah. Well, it sounds like a trek back to Oleg's is in store for us.
Yeah, that's what
And-
I'm good.
Yeah, we're like
for it.
right next to Cirlo, right?
You're a tile away.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to Cirlo, drop Cirlo's person off, and then go to Oleg's.
We have to go that way anyway, realistically, unless we want to
Yeah.
go the long way around.
True.
All right.
We need to
Also,
build another bridge.
if we find the 2 Sylvan sprites that wanted us to take care of the bad hunter that we took care of, or take care of the traps, then there's also that for a reward.
Maybe we hit them on the way back.
I think it's more of a they hit us.
Fair.
So I think our first step is probably resting for the night as intended, eating some delicious pig, and
That was our plan, yeah.
I can get whichever one of you is hurt. I think is it Wave that's actually hurt, or was it Kalat? I forget.
Once I was woken up, I'm fine because I restore HP
Oh yeah,
per minute.
Right, yep.
And I never miss anymore, so everything is fine.
God, he never missed.
Assurance?
Yeah. Even though you heal very slowly.
You've damaged me for 15. Ow. But we also had whenever you touched us, like we let the smoke out or something because we bathed in holy waters recently.
Yeah, so instead of basically my particular brand of medicine gets very actively messed with by holy healing, So I automatically crit if I succeed on a medicine check, unless you've been healed by holy magic in the last 24 hours. In which case I just regular succeed. But
And just as a quick note, that is specifically divine healing. Like
yeah.
a primal caster, like a druid that casts heal on you, does not impact this at all.
Stupid
Cool.
gods. But not stupid nature. Alright.
Okay, so spending the night and then taking your prisoners onward, is that the plan?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I know you'd said you wanted to bring him to Cirlo, though I was not 100% like following what your plan is there. Just do you remember, I guess is the best question, of
So
what
he-
your goal with that was.
Go ahead, Robert.
I was gonna say he was more unscrupulous, and we don't think that he can be made as a productive member. And we're trying to figure out ways to offload those people without just murdering them. We don't want to turn them loose again. We're giving them to Cirlo so that he can keep them in line, because we believe that Cirlo, currently at least, has intent to side with us over things. And so if he can hold on the less desirable ones under their guise will still be belonging to the Stag Lord, that we've kind of reached a tentative peace with those people.
Mhm.
Until Cirlo gets a big head and decides that he no longer needs us because we've given him enough strength.
Thurlow was born with a big head.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's more of an inevitability, but he is also our pacifying option for the less desirable ones that we capture, but like they surrender, but we're not going to just outright kill them. I think we had another option of like we could send them, go back to town with them, and use the guard to send them back to place where we came from, and they would be tried under the law and probably hung.
Restov is that location, and with a testimony from you that they were engaged in banditry, they would be put to death. You would know that as a virtual guaranteed fact unless they already had a pre-existing connection in Restov. But for the most part, the people with connections like that aren't out here robbing people.
Fair.
Alright. Do you keep them tied up throughout the night? Or what
think
is your
so,
plan
yeah.
there?
Yeah, they're prisoners.
Your first night goes without incident. You are able to heal up, restore any lost resources, whatever comes back on a rest. As you awaken to some light falling rain and a rather cloudy morning.
Feels good. Alright, pack up camp and make our way over to Cirlos.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing my morning preparations.
You're
Push-ups
free
and all
to
that.
do so.
I'm currently looking through some of the formulas that I learned. So I start with 4 level 2 and below formulas, and then after that I can read and learn any of the ones that we can get a hold of, essentially, as long as we meet the level requirement for it. So I've got a few things that I'm trying to determine, but it's not going to have great impact here. I might, once I get through like the beginning list, I'll ask us what we should choose between, because I got more than 4 I think that are applicable. We can just have that small conversation when that happens.
As you travel, the light pattering of rain steadily increases to eventually building up into a heavy downpour. You're still able to travel, though you're certainly slowed by the process. It's still warm enough to not cause harm from the level of chill that is running through you, but it is certainly past the point of comfort for most.
What do we have in the way of rain gear? Anything?
I don't have anything unless it comes by default.
Like you've got explorers outfits which would have like very basic stuff. It'll keep you okay for a time, but in a storm, not really, unless you've specifically prepared something for that.
Fair.
Wave, you are less bothered by this than the others.
Lucky.
Your
Lucky
skin
is no way
simply
to put it.
isn't leached of the heat like the others are.
My skin is simply lucky. The rain never hits it. Or something.
Yeah.
Monk vibes.
I like this approach, yes. Wave is lucky and none of the drops fall on him.
So
Uh, But you make your way across, slowed a bit, and it would be just about setting sun by the time you're pulling up to the ford that you know Cirlo's camp is on the other side of. Easily traversed, however.
cool.
Though if the rain keeps up like this, it might not be as easily traversed tomorrow.
Mm. The ford widens in the rain.
Indeed.
Mhm. I
That
think
makes
that
sense.
getting some, maybe staying the night at Cirlo's camp might be in order.
Yeah. We may want to be careful, and I assume we're going to be doing our watches again. Just
Quick question:
'cause-
we haven't fully. Well, I thought we were in the middle of exploring the other half of this hex.
Oh, we haven't explored the second half of that hex. I forgot.
I don't believe you've explored any half of that hex.
The
Of
Cirlo's
Cirlo's
camp one?
hex.
We've explored the right side of Cirlo's hex. The very first time we encountered that.
Okay. Perhaps just missed the marking on it. Because I know you explored the half of this hex.
Yeah, wait. Actually,
Oh, was it
I don't
that
think we've
hex?
explored anything of this hex.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
believe you've explored
I
that
might
one at
be
all yet.
missing-
I think you just
Yeah,
traveled in, found it, and then had a fight and left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay,
knew his
okay,
camp was here because we were told to go down the river because that was where Oleg told us to do. That was before we were doing exploration styles.
Wrong hex then. My bad.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you did already get the second half of this one, which was the half hex.
Yeah.
We explored and find
yeah.
Sirlo's camp.
So as you're approaching the campsite, you can see a couple lights of lanterns raised up in the trees somewhat, low enough so that those in the small tree huts that you've encountered the archers and posted sentry before, they are concealed, but they have decent vision of the area around them at the night, and also they are covered from the pouring rain. You see a couple figures briefly moving, though they pretty much immediately duck down inside of a large tent that has been set up as shelter.
I'll address the party and mention we should keep our connections with Cirlo
Okay.
quiet. Or at least limited.
I mean, I think aside from us, we're the only ones who know. And maybe the guy we're bringing to Cirlo.
And I think the longer we keep it that way, the better.
Yeah. No, I'm in agreement. I'm just trying to make sure we know who all knows.
Seems reasonable to me. Let's go parlay, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
With that note, would we be approaching as if we know we're expecting somebody to be here?
I think our
You know-
approach is probably fine, but
Okay.
I think while in Cirlo's camp, perhaps we keep our connections to Oleg's a little bit more quiet, and then
All right.
Anything else other than simply approaching?
I think we are approaching.
You hear out a gruff voice speaking with a bit of an orcish accent, though in common, as a figure calls out from one of the raised platforms in the trees. Who's there? Not someone you recognize. Though dark and well concealed, someone has dark vision here. I forget who. Wave has dark vision, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
everyone but Fives does, right?
No.
I can't see. I'm blind. I'm following you guys. I'm in the back
we
for
have
sure.
the other two of us have low light vision.
Yeah,
Oh,
low
okay.
lights.
I have dark
Wave,
vision, yeah.
Wave, you can clearly make out the figure. A strong-looking half orc has a bow in hand, but not aggressively drawn.
We're here to speak with Cirlo.
Nerlo! 4 here for you. With another moment's pause, you see Cirlo himself come out of the large tent, and he just extends his arms open wide. My friends! Come, come!
Oh no.
Oh god.
The sentiment that matters.
With
All
a
great
warm
intentions.
smile, he steps back into the tent, waving you in with him. It's a large tent, bigger than the room I am standing in.
Okay.
Follow him
I
in.
guess I go into the tent.
Yeah,
there-
I shrug and follow.
There are 2 others in there as well, sitting around a table, the remnants of a meal in front of them. There's also a small campfire and a large pot of stew over it. You must be hungry. You must be hungry. Want something to eat? There's enough.
I mean, I'll take some free food if it doesn't have to come from my rations.
I do indeed also sit down and begin the self-helping.
He's all smiles as you step in. One of the other men inside dishing up bowls and handing them out as you approach. It is nothing special. It's just as simple wild vegetables and a little lean on the meat, but enough to get by.
Better than that?
Wait.
Comfort stew.
We've come to talk business, Cirlo.
Oh yes. Perhaps in private after a meal. Yes.
Or
Sure.
And with that, he sits back down, seeming to be about 2/3 of the way through his own bowl of stew, and will engage in plenty of pleasantry and polite conversation, but doesn't really direct anything towards business. If you do the same, then you may eat some food without using rations.
Nice.
Yep.
2
But if
free
we
days.
don't engage, we have to use rations.
Yeah, I definitely engage in very, very light chatter.
Mhm.
I don't like blow him off by any means.
And after a small bit of time, the others inside finish up their meal, and with a sort of nod of the head of Cirlo, they step out of the camp, or out of the tent into the camp, out of sight. Also, your 2 prisoners, do you bring them inside or not? I forgot to mention them.
Do we
I think
do
we
we
keep
all
them
need to
close
be
to
in the
that
tent to
side.
talk, or can one of us wait outside with the prisoners so we make sure they don't do anything,
I mean,
Funny.
they're in the middle of Cirlo's camp. I'm not super worried about them doing anything too funny, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're chilling for the most part. We can probably... Well, I guess I have some slight concerns of them like trying to run off or whatever. So I would, after eating, volunteer to step outside and go keep an eye over them.
Or we can ask Cirlo if he has someone who could just watch over them for us.
That works
Of
too.
course. The sentries will keep an eye. Who is this new help you hired to carry a rope for you?
Well, you...
Do we have a name from him?
I don't.
I don't know if you got names.
His
This
last
is Jeff.
his
Name
last
Jeff.
name was started with a K.
Wait, no.
If you're referring to Kruda, that's the dead one. You
Yeah.
did
I
not
know.
take him. Okay,
I
okay.
know.
Just wanted to make sure.
I'm hinting at his origins to our sly friend.
He looks over, gives a smile, and doesn't seem to pick up what you're hinting at.
Fuck. I forgot he's also sometimes an idiot. That's okay. I'm sure that's fine.
Can we just say the captured have no names? Just move on.
Hey,
We don't know their names.
You know,
I
in the
suppose
fight,
I'm
we
more
didn't
meant,
think to ask.
why do you have them? And why are they here? I mean, if it's your business, it's your business. I don't mean to pry. I'm just curious.
We actually heard that you were in need of more help around here. So one of them is to help out in your camp.
Oh. Well, that's very generous of you. Will
He's
anyone be
rather-
asking
figured-
questions?
What?
Nope,
He's
they will not.
he's rather feisty. Was the sentence I was going to finish? Sorry.
We can always do with some extra hands around here. And of the other? I saw there were two.
He'll be traveling with us.
Very well. Is that all you're here for then? Just dropping off some help out of the goodness of your heart?
Out of the goodness of our heart, and maybe to establish that this might be a repeated thing.
Oh, we can make that work.
Also, to hear what Sir those birds have been chirping about.
He gives a wide grin. Well, there's been a bit of news that I've heard whispers of course. There's an upstart group that seems to be causing some trouble for the Stag Lord's income, we'll call it. Certainly don't know who that would be.
We wouldn't know anything about that.
anyone.
It escapes me.
He just gives a nod, smiling slightly. Whoops, I have the wrong thing open. And we've also... There's been a few complaints of some more uppity kobolds causing some troubles as well. Have you run into
Oh.
any?
You happen to know what clan they're from?
I can't say I speak kobold.
Fair enough. Yeah, we've run into some.
If Gerrit doesn't dissuade, I would probably mention that the kobolds are something of a project of ours.
A project in what manner?
We're not sure yet. We'll see. The ones wearing necklaces with turtle shells are currently under our protection of sorts.
I see. I shall instruct my men to disengage should we come across them. Though I've mainly heard of such west of the river.
Well,
I think their main concern should be with other kobolds as opposed to people currently.
Oh, infighting among the groups, I see?
Tragic, isn't it?
For such small creatures, they have such large vanities. It's always strange. Is there anything else that I might be able to help you with?
I think we're good, right?
Maybe Some
Maybe a little
shelter
bit
for
more
the night?
information. The information then there's a group of us walking around in the woods
I
would
mean,
be useful.
it's pretty reliable information.
you
You
know,
know, it's
it
true.
happens.
What
It
information do you have? Well, I've heard that you guys are walking around places.
It's good to know our names getting out there. We got
Hey.
publicity.
Yeah,
PR is good.
I mean, maybe if he knows anything more about other folks whose last names start with K and an R and an Uda. We've been hanging out west of the Thorn recently, and
Well, they've always been a little overly macho, I've felt. Always going on about who got the largest hunt, more than anything else. I haven't really associated with them too much. They just don't quite have the same class. But, last I know, there's a dozen and a half of them over there. Brutes for the most part.
if they were to
He's-
suddenly disappear, how do you think that would affect the Stag Lord?
Well, it certainly would be a loss for him. It would be profitable for someone poised to reposition them, however. Do you know when they might disappear?
Sometime in the coming future. I can't say we can place an exact date.
We have some free time coming our way. Maybe in a month or so.
I see. His camp is well fortified. It's not a fortress by any means, but... And he sort of gestures around the relatively open camp that you're in. It is more defensively positioned than this one. He does not believe in the same ease of access that we do here, let's say. It's within the woods, though in a bit of a valley almost. And he's constructed those... What are they? The big wooden axes. Sharp spikes. There's a name for them, but I can't think of it in the moment.
Halberd? Is that a halberd?
A what?
Halberd?
A halberd?
No? Is that not what they're called?
He thinks for a moment and then just shakes his head.
It's a halberd
Anyway, spiked barricades cover most of the ground. Only
Halberd is
really
a
room
form.
for one or two at a time.
Interesting.
Large cliffs surrounding it as well. You'd be wise to... Anyone that would make them disappear would be wise to have a good look before going in.
It's very good advice.
If we were to visit, is there any way to visit him without using the front entrance?
You'd need to avoid his scouts stationed up on the cliffs. I don't know if there'd be a way,
Be back here.
unless
You can keep going.
perhaps some sort of magical means. And he gives a shrug.
We can maybe gather some more information once we get there. You said they're pretty
Yeah.
fond of hunts. Maybe we can catch
ambush.
some of them while they're out hunting.
He also has a bit of a weakness for the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that looks like a fine whiskey, he will claim for himself, and you can be sure that he'll have a drink that night.
Hint looks at Gerrit.
Gerrit
Yes.
flips through his notebook, and then as soon as he mentioned, he's kind of casually flipping through, and then just flips to a very specific page. He's like,
Well, that is very useful information.
Yeah. Cirlo, you said that there was a nuisance of people going around. Have you heard any plans about what people plan to do about that nuisance?
I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that Dovin sent his dog to do a little digging.
Dog? Like a
Yes,
giant wolf? Or a
No,
literal...
the halfling gnomish feller out in the east.
Okay.
Interesting.
Did we run into someone like that?
That was the wizard, I think, that we know lives out in the northeast.
So a quick reminder note. So you know that there's 3 like outer camps.
Yeah.
Cirlo's is this one. That is the description of the person who is to the east of Cirlo's
Yeah.
camp area. And they were a gnome or halfling. I don't know if you ever heard confirmed which, because Cirlo did not know.
Oh,
That
okay.
was an apprentice of Dovin.
Yeah.
So they would be Dovin's dog. Okay, that makes more sense.
The short guy.
Maybe nothing.
Well,
But also, if you bleed at all, I'd clean it up.
All right.
well, Cirlo, we hate to intrude, but if there's any chance that you have some shelter from the storm, it's a little bit past our comfort at the moment out there.
You may stay here. And he just gestures to the tent you're currently in.
Yes.
My men all have their own.
Sounds
And what
good to
about
me.
you?
I also have my own.
Okay.
It's a little larger than the others. And he gives a wide grin.
I don't sleep. I just stand out in the rain looking straight up all night. Fantastic. I mean, I'm pretty good to
Yeah.
I'm pretty content with that amount of information. I'm good to kind of call it a night there.
I turned to Wave and I'm like, are you satisfied?
Yeah.
Wave has left to go eat stew.
Oh, God. Well, I guess he's not here to speak for himself. We're good!
yeah, I think we're good on the information gathering tier. I think maybe Westy's food just got here. But yeah, we settle in for the night. We wish our best to the guy we're dropping off here. We got a straight shot north tomorrow.
As you are parting for the evening, Cirlo gives an overly dramatic bow with a flourish as he says, "And I bid you all a wonderful, restful night." And then we'll leave the tent. You are able to get a safe rest here without issue.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Quick question on formulas. If you were to learn the formula for crafting first level scrolls, do you learn the ability to craft one first level spell as a scroll, or do you get the
I
ability to
believe-
craft scrolls?
You get the ability to craft scrolls for any spell that you know, or is in your spell book, depending on what kind of class you are.
Okay.
But you can't craft a scroll of something you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm a magical inventor, I've invented shield.
I've invented cheese.
All right. Calling it a night.
And yeah, so the next day you see that they've taken the man you brought, and he's no longer bound and is currently being talked to by 2 of the others, far enough away that you can't hear the details of the conversation. Though the one that you mentioned you are still bringing to Oleg's remains tied up and under guard. Enough to be able to move and walk, but not enough to be able to run.
Mm-hmm. I think.
I assume we're just heading straight back to Oleg's from here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quick question. Would Wave ever use like magical fist weaponry, or is he always going to be using something like a quarterstaff?
canonically, I'm using a quarterstaff. In actuality, like mechanically wise, I'm using my fists.
Because I can make like magical hand wraps.
I don't know if that's any different than. Is it any different than making magical quarterstaff?
It is the same. Technically, you don't make a magical hand wrap or quarterstaff. You take a hand wrap or quarterstaff and affix a runestone to it. So you can do that to either one, and whether you want it to be attached to you wave or the quarterstaff is narrative flavor, and you can pick as you wish for which of it is.
How does mighty hand wraps work? Or hand wraps of mighty blows?
They in every way are just a weapon. It's just saying that you can enchant a unarmed strike just as you could enchant a longsword. It works the same, it costs the same, everything else is exactly the same.
But it's just two different formulas, right?
I will say that it isn't. It may be by
Okay.
rules, but I will say that it is not.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. You are able to just use potency runestones, striking runestones with unarmed attacks just as easily as weapons.
Cool.
All right.
We make our way back north so we can continue the crafting.
All right. Moving through the Moonradish Hex to Oleg's. Are you going to pass the Moonradishes, or are you just going straight to Oleg's?
I'm in favor of just going straight to Oleg's. But we
Yeah,
can stop
yeah,
by
yeah.
if other people want to.
The following day, the pouring rain seems to let up a good amount. It's still drizzling and cloudy, but no longer near as dreadful as it has been.
Nice.
You get about 4 hours into your travel when you see 3 bronze-scaled kobolds making their way through the woods. You spot turtle shells on around all three of their necks.
Ooh.
Let them live.
As they see you at about the same time, one of them just looks towards you, Gerrit, and says, "Clan hack," and then they continue to just move on. If you don't call out to them, they will swiftly be out of
It's
sight.
kind of like awkwardly waves.
They call you a clam hat?
Okay. Bunk bunk.
They pass on by. Your night goes without incident, and the following day after that, you are able to make it to Oleg's.
Welcome to the 16th day. Time to begin the crafting.
It looks much as you left it. A couple guards up on the walls. There's also just a handful of about four hunters or travelers currently staying at Oleg's camp, though none seem to have any particular items or issues of import. You also see Jod there as well.
As we approach the camp, I'll ask the group, when should we confront the priest?
We're here. Might as well not leave him hanging. We've found his lost treasure.
My only worry is if we are here to stay in the camp for too long, he may go out on his own.
I think if he were prone to going out on his own, he would have gone out on his own to begin with.
True.
Fair.
Plus, he might need time to be ready.
Fair enough. That's all I have.
All right. So who needs to do what?
I would like to not talk to the priest and instead go and do some work on some crafting things. But that is after the initial "Hey, hi, how are you?" is what you got. What you got in the shop right now, Oleg? How's everything?
Mhm.
We have some stuff to sell, I think.
As
do you wanna
normal.
talk to our priest friend?
Sorry, I missed what that was, Colin.
I said Fives. Do you want to talk to the priest, our priest friend, for us?
I mean, I can. That was the guy who wanted us to go to the temple, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. But let's do. I think we were gonna do Ryan's thing first.
Oh, I'm chilling.
I thought you were talking to Oleg for his stuff.
Yeah. That's secondary.
Okay.
As before, Oleg is happy to see you guys, and in seeming like good mood for being in a bad spot kind of vibe.
Fair.
Things are rough, but seeing you guys makes his day a little better.
All right. Do I see the priest around?
Yeah, you see Jod. He's currently sitting at a table, talking to a hunter who doesn't seem particularly interested in Jod.
Poor guy.
Hey, walk up. Excuse me, didn't mean to break up the party. Mind if I speak to Jod for a little bit?
The hunter gives a wide smile. Of course, I didn't mean to. And he just like picks up his stuff and walks off.
Oh,
I sit down at the table and I'm like, all right, listen, Jod. We found your temple that you wanted us to find.
You found it.
Yes, I don't know what you were expecting to find inside the temple, but what we found was not a good time.
What was it? You please tell me everything. And he immediately opens up a small unfinished book and just a quill at the ready.
All right. Well, then, I explained the battle with the pool and the mosquitoes and the bear, and then it turning into a person. Then we go inside and we find nothing. I explain all of that.
When this bear returned to a man briefly, did the man seem to be anguished or relieved?
To tell you the truth, my mind was boggled at what was going on. I can't remember the facial expression he had on.
he was
More than
relieved.
understandable.
Okay.
I believe this was a punishment from Aristil that was later corrupted by Urgathoa, it sounds. When can you take me there?
Just after we're done with our time here. We gotta head back out that way.
Marvelous. Thank you. Thank you all so much. And he clasps your hand in both of his, giving a tight squeeze and a over enthusiastic handshake to each of you that is near him at the time.
Yeah, I once he releases my hand, I do that classic wipe my hand on my shirt. Like, ooh, it's so clammy. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get some food.
Of course. Thank you so much. Let me know as soon as you're ready to ride.
I have a question.
Yes.
How are our horses doing?
The horses are doing pretty well. They've been in this area for quite a long time. They are used to about the level of riding that you've been putting them through.
Oh.
You haven't been going overboard with anything of trying to sprint through hexes beyond reason or anything of that sort. They're doing pretty well overall.
Okay, good.
Especially so long as you keep giving them occasional times like this where they just have time to rest, to eat. They're in good health.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Is there anything specific you are planning on doing with the prisoner you brought back with him? Or are you just kind of turning him be here?
Turning can be here, I think.
Yeah, my plan was just be like, all right, go live a virtuous life.
You be here now. You do think prosper.
Repay your
Everything
repay your
prosper.
sins, or repent from your sins.
And he seems to, as best you can tell, truly be grateful for this opportunity. A second chance that most of his comrades did not receive. What else are you doing here?
I guess the only other thing is just shop, right? Spend time crafting if we need to.
Yeah. So we have some stuff. Got a whole bunch of loot, actually. Owlbear coat of iron feathers of owlbearness +3. That's got to be worth something.
At least one owl bear.
Oh yeah, I believe you were planning on selling the owlbear coat.
Yes, that's one.
The vials of spear frog poison I would probably like to keep. Let's
How much are
see.
they worth, just in case?
Don't know off the top of head, but someone can look that up. It's just a straight item from the game.
Spear frog under poisons. Spear frog poison 3 GP. If we would like to sell them, I can certainly make stronger poisons.
I'm okay. I don't need poison. You can sell them if you want to.
If you want to keep them, I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Those kind of like
want-
consumable, useful stuff is nice to have. It takes a lot of time to craft sometimes, so.
Mhm. Then we had 2 short swords, which is selling it. I forget what is it, like half price or?
Yes, half price for like weapons, armor, consumables, things like that. If its only value is its own value, then those generally will sell for full price. Like if I say you find a gold candlestick worth 10 gold, that will sell for 10 gold.
Let me get the pricing thing pulled up, I suppose. Archives of Nethys. Short sword. Does someone want to like start at the bottom of the list while I go from the top of the list?
Party inventory. In the just the sellable loot section.
Why can't I find short swords in equipment here? There's a butterfly sword, a Kopesh sword.
I think it's no space.
What? Maybe there's just not an actual. This is really weird.
There is. I think there's just no space in it.
Short swords are a myth.
Yeah, you never actually ever had short swords. Wake up, Gerrit.
Sword game.
Short
sword.
swords are 9 silver pieces.
Okay, I just feel like I'm like something is very wrong here in these gold values. That's because I'm on first edition Pathfinder.
That'll do it.
Yeah, for some reason it won't. It didn't pull it. You said 9 silver pieces.
Yep. I'm
Yep.
under weapons. It's spelled with no space.
Yeah, it's just literally doesn't come up when I search it in Archives of Nethys.
That's where I'm at. Oh, weird. Okay. I'm just on the equipment weapons tab though. So you
Yeah.
can search.
Here, I'll show you. It is when you search sword, it comes up with all of this equipment, but none of it is short.
Oh, that's funny. Yep. Short swords don't exist in the compendium. Sorry.
Okay.
Take long sword and shorten it.
So you said there are 9 silver pieces.
Yeah.
So 9 silver pieces from the swords.
Up the hand
Great
axe.
Club is something you're gonna do. How much do we get to sell the owlbear coat for?
The owlbear coat is going to fetch 9 gold and 5 silver.
Nice.
Ooh.
9.
It is a nice pelt that you rolled very well on the survival check for.
Nice.
Ah.
Owlbear coat. Great Club also is a no-go. Short bows and 3 more short swords. So that's 9 silver pieces plus another 4.5 silver pieces.
Short bows are composite short bows are 14 gold pieces.
These are just short bows, not composite short bows, as a note.
I snap 2 of them and I weld them together, thus compositing them into a composite short bow.
I don't know if it works quite like that.
Why is there a hand adze and not a hand axe? And the hand adze is definitely not a hand axe.
Hmm.
And adds is a weapon.
Yes, I realized that, but why is there no hand axe?
Mhm.
Hand
think there is
cannon,
a
hand
hand axe.
crossball?
Short bow is 3
Is it a hatchet?
GP.
I
Axe?
see hatchet.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking hatchet.
Okay.
Hatchet's 4 silver, 1d6. Yeah, that seems right.
If you're on the hand axe, then we have all of our money that we have gained.
Wait, short bows are 3 GP?
Yeah.
Bow.
I have already converted mine into how much we get from selling it.
Yes, mine as well.
Okay.
So we can do math very easily, obviously. Boom.
Wait, hold on. So you have 9 silver pieces for swords. What's the 13.5 silver pieces?
That is for the second set of swords.
I thought you said we had 3 more short swords. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, there's 2 short swords and 3 short swords. You have 5 total short swords.
Yes.
Oh, I see. And you okay, got it. Caught up. Wait, and short bows are 6 GP by default? Because a crossbow is 3 GP.
Short bows
And the hand
are
crossbows.
3 GP by default, and we have 2 of them.
Jeez. Okay. Fair enough. All right. When we inquire as to what to bring out of places, we choose bows over short swords any day.
Plus 8 plus 3. We have 51 GP, and let's see. That's 9 plus 5 plus 13.
Wait, 50. I hate to do this, but where's the 51 coming from? 'Cause I see lots of silver pieces in the mixture.
29.5 silver pieces. Which would translate to two more
there's more
GP.
money. There's more money in the inventory, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, there is.
There's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then
I
there's also
missed
HP.
7.
to be in most of these.
So it's actually 36.5. Or 36 SP and 5.
Okay.
I think that all of the data that I used is here in the chat. So if you want to
The
have at it.
9, 12, 14, 16 GP, 19, and then I guess I see another 3, 8, so it's 30. I see 39 GP.
I also counted less than 51,
Okay.
but I might be
Rock on.
missing something.
We were at 39 GP.
No, we're not at 39 GP. Robert's math is missing the 9 GP from the currency that we already have. And I'm just going to go over it again one more time. It's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. With 20 gold pieces in the list of things that we were selling. And then also 23 plus 8 is 31 plus 9 is 40. I count.
Oh yeah, 31 before the currency, so 40 total.
Yeah, 40 GP.
Blame the calculator and me having a bad brain.
40 horsepower.
40
It probably just
horsepower.
was one of the silver pieces was
40
counted as gold or
GP.
something.
Would you guys
Okay,
like to run
so-
through silver pieces, please?
14, 27.5, 29.5. Silver pieces listed there. Plus it's 18. Plus 7. Plus 3. I'm getting 57.5 silver pieces.
Mhm.
7.5 silver pieces.
And then
And
Five.
2 copper.
2 additional
Two
copper.
additional copper. For
7
good
copper.
measure. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh. Did I miss the leather armors?
I
12,
didn't.
14, 16, 20. Okay, no, I didn't either. All right, that should be right.
Does the website have an item calculator for selling?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need.
That would be nice. It actually does. If you just hit the Windows key and type in calculate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
The archives of Nethaze, it downloads it on your computer automatically the first time you go to the website.
Yeah.
Very
Real
handy.
convenient. It's also mining Bitcoin from your computer now, though.
Yeah.
Not
And not even if you download it, just us mentioning it starts the.
voice
You get
activated.
a very small percentage of that Bitcoin.
The percent is 0, but you know it's enough for the legal paperwork.
Okay, I'm going to delete the extra gear from sellable loot. There's soap. Is anybody taking soap?
We're keeping the soap around.
Yeah.
Yeah. That can go away. Ryan's keeping all 8 vials of spear frog poison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We haven't done anything with the Great Club yet.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done anything with the other Great Club of striking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gone. Oh, that's gone. Oh, that's gone. Okay. Cool. And then we can delete all this stuff. One bandit dropped off from Pruda's gang. Repentant of his ways, as following the label of the text above it.
Mhm.
Okay, so then I'm going to turn that into what's that? 45 gold. That's the copper line. Solid. Well done. So 7 copper, 7 silver, and 45 gold pieces. Plus
Bada bing.
soap. And yeah, I'm just gonna delete this a little bit. Okay,
And a
cool. So we get-
wondrous Gripply short bow.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that's the
Why is that in the wondrous item section again?
I'm
Not sure why it's there. It's just a short bow sized for a creature smaller than you.
A memento.
Was it his, or was this one that we just found in the box?
It heavily implied to be the Gripply's, though
Oh, okay.
I don't
That's
believe
right.
you have proof of that.
I see. I probably kept it in wonders for the idea of it being a memento.
Memento.
So I will mementorize it. And
I was just making sure it wasn't like a +3.
No, it's not magic.
striking 3. Gripply short
Morphle
bow.
Gripply short bow.
Yeah.
I will have my revenge.
Oh, like, dang, how did he not win?
When he died, he sealed his essence into the bow.
The short bow
croaks.
slowly talks to you.
See,
All right.
Let's see. Gripply, short bow added to resting room, locked chest. Okay, so we've got that. Then next comes, I'm assuming, the magical
Weaponry.
formulas that I know of, and those stones and stuff. So I get 4 items of 4 recipes just for learning the magical stuff. So I've gotten 4 here, and they're within a certain level. I got Brooch of Shielding. I don't know if that's basing yet. Ring of Discretion, Hand of the Mage, and Ever-Burning Torch. These are all things I can craft for basically half cost or full price if we want to have a shortened time limit. But it also would only cost us half of our gold capacity to retrieve the items that would
Well,
be
I
needed
think
for it. That didn't do anything, really. That didn't base the description at all.
Yep.
I mean, I think we should probably take care of the striking and potency stuff first.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I need to learn striking and potency, or how to create the actual runes before we do any kind of switching on them. And I don't know how all that works specifically.
Okay, so with the crafting skill, okay, so if you have an item, you can reverse engineer the formula with the craft skill. It takes the amount of time that it would take to create the item. So 4 days for something like this. After that downtime, make a crafting check against the DC it would take to craft the item. If you succeed, you craft the formula at the price of the formula and materials. So, like, for instance, a potency rune is a level 2 item, so the formula cost of it would be 2 gold. So it would cost 2 gold to learn the formula through materials.
Okay.
Or 5 gold for the striking rune, because that's a level 4 rune. You can add more time to the learning process to decrease the price of this, just as if you can do so with crafting, down to the price of up to free if you just keep putting time into it. If you fail, you waste the time, but nothing beyond that. If you crit fail, you waste 10% of the value of the item. So, like,
Okay.
a striking rune is 65 gold, so you would lose 65 silvers worth of supplies, and also not have the formula.
Does this process destroy the original thing you were learning the crafting from?
It disassembles it. You have all the supplies you need to craft one from it.
Okay.
So basically, like, so
It would just cost time to put back.
yeah, 4 days to disassemble a potency rune. Assuming you pass the check, you now have the formula after 4 days if you pay 2 gold, or you can work longer to reduce that price. Once you're done with that, it takes 4 days to craft an item, and you have all of the supplies, so you can basically do it for free because you disassembled the exact same thing in front of you. 4 days later, you have the runestone in whole again for no cost, and have the formula of it, so you can make more.
And then how
It
much
is a
does a
DC
potency rune
It's a
cost?
DC 19. Potency rune's 35 gold.
And striking?
65.
Okay.
potency is 19 for the striking rune, or 16 for the potency rune.
Wait, what?
Wait, say that again, Brian.
The DC is going to be 19,
Oh,
for
19,
the
okay.
striking rune.
Yep.
Or 16 for the potency rune.
And I have a plus 11 to crafting, so I can't crit fail it. So there's only
On a-
cost in.
Still crit fail,
Oh.
as a note.
Okay.
Because a nat 1 decreases your success rating by 1. So if you would fail on a 1, you instead crit fail.
Ah.
If you had such a huge bonus that you would pass even on the value of a 1, then you would go down to fail, but not crit fail.
Okay. So.
So we can't make any striking runes, but we could make we have 2 potencies and a striking in our possession now, and we
Yep.
can make one more potency. So we could have 3 people with potencies out of 4 and 1 person with a potency striking. At the end,
And
based off of our current.
so other formulas that are out there that we talked about.
And it would take almost all of our gold to do that, assuming we don't fail.
I've got gold still. I've got 20 gold, 6 silver currently.
Gotcha.
And then as far as other recipes that we have technically, there's the Aeon Stone of Pearly White Spindle. It's a item level 3 and it's worth 60 GP. There's a Wayfinder that holds the Aeon Stones. It's an item level 2 worth 28 GP. And then the formula for returning is item level 3 worth 55 GP.
Oh, we need to learn that too, don't we?
Yeah, but we would have to acquire one first.
Oh, we
in order
haven't
to get it. So
acquired.
we would need to get a returning. So like we could somehow order one via some way. I don't know, but
Oh,
yeah.
One other thing to note: in addition to being able to like procure items that he sends out orders and are retrieved, you can also do the same for just formulas. Like if all you want is a formula of returning, you could send an order to Restov for that.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah, then we should just send for the formula of returning.
I don't think we have enough money to do that.
That's easy because the formula of returning is like, because it's item level 3, it's
Formulas are
3
pretty cheap.
GP.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be 3 GP to send off for the formula, unless Oleg just happens to have one with him.
Magical formulas is a little out of Oleg's repertoire.
Cool. Do we want to just start with the learning of the striking and potency runes and ordering of the formula for the
Yeah, I think so.
Also, so we're spending
Great.
all of our money that we just got, right?
We're
currently we're crafting the formulas, which costs a total of 7 gold, assuming no major mishaps.
yeah. If we do it this way, here's a different way of looking at it. We've got 40
It will
GP.
cost all of our money to
Mhm.
make
For-
as maximum
I've been-
number of runes we could.
I just want to try to figure out what my downtime's looking like because I also have like formulas and crafting that I could be doing.
So- Potency X2 equals 35 GP.
I've got
two.
it in chat too.
70 GP, and then striking 65 GP. So from a party standpoint of all the treasure that we just brought back, that we basically have what 135, 170 gold pieces to split 4 ways.
Where are you getting all that extra gold?
No, in the form of 2 potency runes and a striking rune.
Oh, I mean, we should just try and get as. We have 3 potency runes and a striking rune. The striking rune has to go onto a potency weapon, and we can distribute those out to his 3 out of the 4 party members.
Okay, it's probably easier just to start with learning the recipes then. So
Yeah.
I would like to spend 4 days learning potency.
So, as a quick note, what is everyone doing with their downtime? Also, actually, before I ask that question, Oleg approaches Fives and says, "Oh, by the way, a few days ago, a couple packages came for you," and he points to a shed. "Follow me." And he steps towards the shed.
What's in the
Amazon delivery?
box?
Okay.
He walks up to it and grabs a rather heavy box and holds it out to you with a few lighter ones stacked on top. You recognize from the seal atop of it, they are marked with the seal of the investigation bureau you'd worked at prior to setting out on this journey.
Okay. I open the boxes.
The first one is simply a letter, and it's a very formal letter, the kind you would expect in your line of work. But the gist of it is saying that since they've lost you, they've been having a harder time keeping up with some of the more investigative work. And if you happen to have free time, they've sent you some case details if you ever have time to look over them, and that they would pay you on contract work if you were to successfully aid in their resolution.
Okay.
Looking through other boxes, it is just full of reports, journals, clues of local crimes back in Restov that they haven't been able to crack. It is something that, should you choose, you would be able to work on in times of downtime. It would take a substantial amount of time to work into this. It's not really something you can get good progress on of like 30 minutes here and there while you're traveling, seeking shelter from the rain out in the wild, though.
Okay, if I roll a nat 20, can I Sherlock Holmes it and get it done in an hour?
As a quick note, it will be by your society checks is the related stat to solving them.
I'm going for it. All right. Did you want me to roll?
Hold off on rolls just for the moment.
Okay.
Is that what you are doing in your downtime?
Oh, as soon as I see that, I get excited. So yeah, that's entirely what I'm spending my work on.
Actual work where I can get involved and jump into just paper and fuck the woods, man.
No more getting eaten by frogs. I'm in there.
You do notice
Opens
that
up the case file.
one of the cases is actually they're trying to catch a murderer who killed someone using a poisonous frog. Much smaller though.
I feel like I saved that case for last.
He just returns
Kalat,
all the identified suspects as boggarts.
Kalat is crafting. What is Gerrit doing?
I suppose I'm gonna try to craft a sunrod.
Okay.
And I'll spend all 8 days, which means that if I understand correctly, if I succeed on my roll after 4 days, then I can just spend the next 4 days reducing the cost, right?
Yep. And Wave, what would you like to be doing?
I don't know.
There is always work that needs help doing in Oleg's if you're just looking to lend a physical labor hand. Though
Honestly,
if there's anything else you can think of, feel free.
I think taking a kind of like another like pass over of Oleg's trading post fortifications and thinking of any potential like redesign work and then working on that redesign work to bolster Oleg's trading post into a potentially defensible location would be pretty useful, because I imagine the people that are currently working on it are like people who, you know, they're trained guards and they've seen some combat and stuff, but maybe not necessarily like, you know, aren't necessarily well suited to that kind of job. So I can maybe improve on that or something.
What skill do you think would be tied to this?
Great question. Let me open my character sheet. Yeah. Ocean lore.
No. You're gonna
so
want this wall
indefensible
higher.
up here
When
on
the water
land.
rises, you don't want that.
Wax on, wax off.
I should build a moat.
Honestly, I'm not sure. So most of my skills are either in. So I've got athletics and acrobatics, and then other than that, I have like diplomacy style stuff.
Wouldn't this be
which-
just like survival, building, fort and defenses and stuff, or no?
I don't
Survival would be more
know.
like improvised, very rudimentary kind of defenses. If you're trying to build a fort, that is more into architecture and engineering than base survival skills.
Is there
Also
no
feel like it's,
handyman skill?
It's probably more
Lore,
of like
civil
a
engineering. Do you have that?
warfare lore than anything else, which is I think what Kalat has, right? Or-
Warfare
and
lore
Gerrit
would
do.
be something I would say would count. I would
I
say
don't have those though.
you could also use athletics for it, as a lot of this would be tough physical work to actually do the thing.
That's probably what
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do.
Could like Gerrit and I, in like, because we're spending most of our days like doing the crafting portion, but could we be the advisors essentially to oversee the engineering portion? Be like, this is the plans that need to get done. Craft something that is something that, Waves can interpret and mobilize the town plus his massive strength to implementing.
That's definitely something that you could do, especially with Wave being well trained in diplomacy. You're good at coordinating the effort of the other guards and people there. So yeah, that's something that could work.
All right.
All right. So I will be looking for society check from Fives, athletics from Wave, and crafting from our two crafters.
Ooh, big
Craft.
money.
Five sits down at the table, opens the letter. Oh, butler! How did they not see this?
It's clearly the butler with the butter knife in the kitchen. It's
Butler
just-
said he was
like,
checking the
bo-
mail, but it was on Sunday.
The boxes they sent were actually just the Clue board game
Oh,
in a
no.
giant box form.
And they have like different states of the board and like figure it out from here.
All right. Gerrit, what is the level of item you are crafting?
It is
of the sunrod?
I believe a sunrod is a level 1. Double checking though. Da-da-da.
It's an unfortunate number for it to be.
That is
Zero is an
unfortunate.
option
You
that would
succeed.
pass.
No, yeah, it's a level 1 item.
All right, so that'll be just short of that one. So you do not
No
get that
worries.
done in the first 4 days, though you may re-roll your attempt in the next 4 days.
Mhm.
Fives and Wave. Let me have a look.
We also get to reroll ours after 4 days, right?
We're technically it's by weeks, but since so much of this is going to be in increments of 4 days, I'm fine with it just being in 4 days instead of 7s.
Okay. Very awkward
So-
weeks.
Where's my tab? 29 on 5s. That is a critical success. The cases that you have are progressively more and more difficult as you work further into the backlog. Your first task level is 0, so you have accomplished that one with a critical success. Then the next case is task level 1. If you accomplish that one, it's task level 2, task level 3. Until you run out of the cases they have sent you on this particular bundle.
What do task levels do? Is it just the DC is higher? Or...
Task level is the DC is higher, but you'd also get paid more for solving it.
Oh, I got paid? Cool.
Yeah, you're a contract worker doing this. They will be sending you money for these.
I would have done this anyway.
I know, I would have done it for free.
Fools.
Not a game.
What
Are you just working from,
idiots?
are you just working from the income earned chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Income earned is what we're going off of.
I see.
So do I
Colin,
collect them
Trained or an
immediately?
expert?
It does not matter at this task level. As a note,
Oh,
there is not a distinction until task level 4 for that.
If we're talking about the skill I'm using, I am an expert in society.
even better.
So, like, do I collect the pay upon sending all of them off, or upon each completion?
So, from a strict narrative perspective, it's kind of sending them, and then
Okay.
eventually the pay comes back. But that for the amount of money this is going to end up being, that's going to be more annoyance and tracking between sessions than not. So, for all intents and purposes, you will get paid the instant you solve the case.
Okay.
Oleg would be happy to loan you 1 gold if he knows that they're sending you a gold, because then he has that as like guaranteed collateral. He's not worried about that.
Mhm.
Eh,
Yeah, I was gonna say Oleg's probably our dispensary at this point.
So
Alright.
your task level 0 is done, and you got a crit success on it. So you get a total of 8 silver from that. That case solved.
Wait, his
Yes.
craft level was 0, right?
Yes.
Test level was 0.
Task level is 0, but a crit pass gives you the reward of a task level above that
Wouldn't it be 2 silver?
per day, and it took 4 days.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Too bad.
So that
So
is
plus 8.
5s on that first 4 days. Gerrit is trying again next 4-day
Yep.
work week. Wave. The repairs around Oleg's are going to be task level 2. So that is a pass. You will make 12 silver.
I make money from this.
Yes.
You work.
You know, that wasn't really my intention here, but that's fair.
The like Oleg and the guards have been well, not Oleg. The guards have been sent to fortify this area, and they have supplies and funding to do so. They do not see this as any different than hiring an architect to come over and help build things, or paying for laborers. You are just really good at it.
Okay.
And then Kalat, which one were you doing first?
Potency.
So you successfully dismantle the potency and pay 1/10 of its cost. Is that right?
So-
No, I'm blending my numbers. So in 4 days, you dismantle the potency and spend resources equal to the formula's price for it, which you can continue to work at to reduce.
Right. So do we have a potency rune at the end of that?
You have all the materials you need to build a potency rune.
Oh, we would have to recraft it.
Ooh.
So yeah, you need to craft it, but the craft is totally free.
What the
We'll
heck?
be here for a while.
Okay. Okay, let me mark this down.
So one sec.
I think we're here for a minimum of 20 days.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Got that one, and we need to subtract 2 gold from the funds. Learning the formula.
Believe in you.
So with all of that, that is a week of, or a 4-day week, all done. I don't know if anyone has or not, but if not, advance the calendar 4 days,
Will do.
and you can go into your second week. 5s, however, seems to have jumped at the chance to work on the easiest case first, and has a little bit of a burden going to the next one.
So what happens to the Great Club?
The
That it was
Great
affected.
Club, so you remove it. It is just, there's a non-magical Great Club, just a normal mundane item left.
They sell for half a gold each.
Okay, half gold. So we can just yeet that at Oleg. Sorry, Oleg, if it hits you when I eat it.
Mhm.
All right. So potency rune pieces is what we got. And then we have a potency rune and a striking rune currently, because I'm removing the runes from the other Great Club and also yeeting that at Oleg. Okay.
So 5s Is everyone continuing their current task, to clarify? Before we
Yes.
I've
continue?
started the
Yes.
new task of learning the striking
Oh,
rune recipe.
shit.
Big money. Give me a sunrod.
I roll more than a 5. That'd be great. I've rolled a 5 and a 2 for my 2 rolls this
All right.
session.
Gerrit, you get the sunrod.
Nice.
You may continue spending more time after it to reduce price.
Yeah. So how much do I
Yes.
reduce it? I'm trained, so I reduce it by 2 silver pieces per day. If I'm understanding this correctly.
I am not 100% positive on this. I will look up the ruling later, but we're going with it for now. I believe with crafting, the after you've crafted it reduction is by your level, not the task level. So you are level 4, right?
Yes.
So you would reduce it by 7 silver per day. If
Hey,
you're
that's
trained,
nice.
8 if you're expert.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty good chance that I
Okay.
continue crafting to get mostly free sunrod. Because I'm pretty broke.
And do keep in mind that you cannot reduce it below half cost for crafting an item,
Okay.
as ultimately you do need to make it out of something.
So if I basically would, since it's 3, I would craft for 2 days and reduce it by 14 silver, and then I would start working on something else.
All right.
I am success.
You are a success. You are able to. That's dismantling the striking, right?
Yes. And we could pay 5 gold, or I could continue to work to reduce that price by 8 silver per day. Which I think is kind of a good idea. No?
Wouldn't you want to spend your time reducing the cost of the runes that you're actually going to make?
So,
That'll
all
be
right,
a
I'll just
better-
pull. Fair enough.
I think.
Gold. 5 gold from the currencies party tab to learn the recipe.
Wave. Wave and 5. There's been the rain that sort of wore off a bit has come back in full force, and it has significantly slowed your progress on the construction wave. You only get 1 silver and 6 copper for the work done in this short week. 5s, it has completely ruined one of your papers, as you were off eating a meal and forgot that you'd left it out by the window when it started picking up in rain, and it has caused some trouble, and you have failed that case.
It's
You
okay.
did
I
not
have memory.
receive
I'll
payment
redraw
for
it. I'll redraw it for my next one. It'll be good. I swear.
I probably
I
don't
just want-
reuse the result of this one for your next case, man.
I just want to put it into perspective. The level of work system that they have in place that involves like being paid by the amount of like work that you complete, kind of like style thing, and not necessarily by like hours or time spent, or it's just like, how good of a job did you do? You did a really good job, you get paid extra. Like, that's next level shit.
I was gonna say also my job is getting for investigative work. My job is based on completion and not whether or not I get the right victim.
Correct.
So
A gingerbread man.
Yeah. So 5s, you do not get any payment for that week. The 2 crafters have already recorded their things. If you're continuing it further, give me another roll for the following weeks. Short week. We're calling 4 days is a week now. It's been ruled.
Okay, so are we doing a third set of 4 days?
Well, you've got to put those runes back together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it will be at least 2 more 4 days just to reassemble the 2 runes that you took apart to science them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to reassemble the striking because it's going to be 32.5 gold, or do we want to make more potency runes?
The reassembling is free because we have the materials already of the rune that we disassembled.
Yeah. When you disassemble a rune and put it back together, that costs you 0.
Oh. I thought if you had the materials of the rune to reassemble it, you still had to pay the price of making it. The other half comes through.
I'm not 100% certain on rules of exact interaction, but I am declaring that for this campaign. If you take apart an item, you can put it back together. So long as crafting checks go both your way on both sides,
Mhm.
I will not cause extra payment on top of the formula payment.
Okay, easy enough. Begin reassembling the potent.
All right. Make your checks.
I'm in a situation where I'm spending 2 days lowering the cost of this sunrod, and then I am kind of out of sync because I have potentially more crafting to do, but
I would say if you're crafting beyond that, just treat this as like for the moment, put the sunrod on hold. Craft the new thing because that's a 4-day block, and then if you're going after that and you have like 2 days of work on this and 2 days on this, then that can be your next 4-day.
okay, cool.
Or you can just throw on 2 days at the very end of this whole progress. Whatever works.
Okay. I also, or I guess not also. I think that I will craft some snake oil, which is also a level 1 thing.
You craft healing potions?
Yes, I can.
As a quick note, I believe you mean elixirs of life. Healing potions are a distinct different item.
I have elixir of life in here somewhere. There it is. I can definitely craft those instead. I'll work on one of those.
Elixir of life, alchemical healing thing that gives bonus against poison and disease as well as hit points.
Mhm.
Healing potion, bottled heal spell, magical healing, hurts the undead.
Okay, I will
Surgery,
craft
surgery.
an elixir of life.
Wave.
Ooh.
Or, I said wave, I meant fives. Fives, you successfully crack case 2. And you get 1 gold and 2 silver in payment. Case 3, sorry, that's case 3. Wave, you also pass, and you receive 1 gold and 2 silver.
I got paid for the second case, right? That was 8 silver again?
The
No, you
second
get
case
nothing.
you did not get paid for.
Oh,
The second
okay.
case was the crit fail.
Okay.
I will roll higher than a 5 after this one. I promise.
Gerrit,
Yes.
this is an oops moment. That is a crit fail, so you will spend 10% of whatever the...
It was 3 gold, so it should be... I spend 3 silver, right?
It's
Or-
10% of the half cost, so
Okay.
5% of the full price.
1.5 silver.
1.5.
And then you can try again.
Yeah.
Kalat, that is a pass. This was reassembling a rune, right?
Reassembling potency.
All right, you got it back together. And then if you're continuing another 4 days,
Reassemble striking.
give a set of rolls.
Me first this time. We have rolled a bigger number.
More healing potion.
I rolled a 9.
All right.
Big money 5.
Let's see. Oh, there's
I'm
still
in my
one for
element.
Kalat.
Yep. Clicking. No, I'm not clicking because I don't know if this is gonna. Nope. All right, ignore that one.
Deception. All right, ignore it.
Consistency. I've rolled 21, 22, 21, 22.
Nice.
Everyone passed except fives who crit passed this week.
Nice.
All right, fives. You see where the investigation was leading, but then you've picked up on something that none of the notes seem to. That this was clearly all thrown off by a red herring. That this this Red Hood gang had put together to throw the cops off their trail. Solving
Coppers.
this, you get a crit pass, so you are going to be paid 3 gold and 2 silver for this week.
Guys, I'm getting rich. I may not need this job anymore.
Wait, why are we adventuring when we could just be doing this?
I should
I'm
honestly just
almost
go back to
making
work.
more money this way.
Hey,
Wait.
contract work is significantly more expensive. You get paid a lot better.
You said
Wave.
you said 3 gold and what? Silver?
2 silver.
2 silver.
Wave, you receive a gold and 2 silver, and the crafters make their crafting progress.
Mhm.
The fools, they're going down in money. Well, me and Fives are going up in money.
All right. It has been. I think the clock needs to be advanced 12 more days, which will bring us into the next month.
What is it? It is the 2nd of the next month.
What month are we in? Human month?
This was April that we just ended. We are now in Desnus, the month of
So-
Desna.
Could we have ordered the parts for potency runes?
Yes,
There
you
we go.
could have. It's been plenty of time. You can have that here.
Okay, cool. I think we order two potency part runes things from our party funds.
Do we have enough for that?
Yeah, we got 39 GP. It would be 35 gold to get 2 parts of potency runes. Or the pieces to a potency rune.
But
Oh,
we
but
won't
we
be
probably
able
don't want to spend the whole time. We order 1. Point. Because I'm not a high enough level yet, it would actually still take a very large amount of days to reduce it. I would be able to reduce it by 8 silver per day, but it's 17.5 gold.
Just something to keep in mind as a general concept. You're not on any sort of like immediate day-to-day time crunch, but do keep in mind that you were sent here with a task, and if it doesn't seem like you're doing it, someone else will be sent here with that task.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
we have spent a lot of time here already.
yeah, we could just straight up buy or order a potency rune to be sent to us.
Sure.
The remaining
Uh,
gold that we have party funds for.
Is the idea that if we were to order the materials and craft it, we would have to spend more than 4 days to make it cheaper than just buying it outright? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, 4 days is the break-even price amount.
Mhm.
Any day that you spend past that, you get to reduce it. But we can come up. Okay, so how about this? How many more days are we going to spend here?
I've got at least one
And-
more 4-day, but the rest is up to y'all.
So that one more 4-day. Have you already added the other 2 days in?
The other 2 days is my one more 4-day.
Okay. Then I would just be holding the party up for that amount of time, right? That would just break even on it, but I would have crafted it at, provided I successfully craft it. And then beyond that, it would just be extra days that we're hemorrhaging to reduce it by 8 silver per day.
This is the kind of problem we ran into with crafting stuff before, right? Like you kind of either need like more levels or more investment in crafting feats or something before it starts becoming something where these will really turn into something
Yes and-
more, right? Like we
Well,
got
yeah.
we got the main benefit, which is we can now take stuff off the hammers and put it on our other stuff, and that's really
Mhm.
good. But as far as like straight up crafting brand new stuff from scratch, that'll be harder to make good use of for now.
Right. But so what we accomplished this time though was getting the recipes. Whereas next time, from day 0, I could start crafting the potency rune. So we would be 12 days into the potency crafting right now, as opposed to not. Which would be a massive benefit. It'd be 8 days of reductions, like 6.4 gold.
Just as a quick note of just like the role of crafting in 2E, it generally relies on one of two things. You spending a lot of time, like you're at 16 days currently. That's a fair amount of time or more to really have significant impact. Or the other half of it is just access. Like right now, you were able to order something from Restov. If something happened and you could not do that, or you were somewhere else, you're not at Oleg's, you can have 1,000 gold. You can't just buy a striking rune out in the wild, but you could craft a striking rune.
Mm-hmm.
You
that
do
makes
need like the raw material supplies, but those by comparison will be vastly easier to find, acquire, or buy even at small locals that might not have magic item shop kind of things.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I assume at some point that like 8 silver per day reduction goes up.
Oh yeah.
Every level.
And when it goes up by enough, then eventually it may be worthwhile. But right now I'm thinking that like 8 silver per day, or 8 silver per day, we could be making more than 8 silver per day by just adventuring or something like that. Probably.
Yeah, true. At levels, so level 5 it turns into 1 gold piece, and at level 6 it turns into 2 gold pieces. So it's first real big jump
Mm-hmm.
at expert level. If I keep going, it gets better the higher up we get to. But
Cool. But for now, I think just buying that rune seems
Yeah.
to make sense to me,
okay, so
and then distributing them.
Additionally, the very first bandit that you brought back to Oleg's camp, the one who's been working here helping out ever since, who seemed to genuinely have a change of heart,
Mhm.
approaches you and gives each of you 2 silver pieces
Aw. Thanks, homie.
thanks, buddy.
as
Thanks.
thanks for correcting
Not
the path.
killing him.
Okay,
It's 10 silver pieces to 1 gold, right?
All the currencies are 10 to 1s.
Okay.
Do I get a good read on how socially he might feel if I kindly like rejected and redirected his silver back at him?
You would he probably wouldn't be like offended or anything of that sort. It is him feeling like he owes you and genuinely wants to pay back what he has wronged, as it's clear he has done a lot of help for Oleg. Now working for Oleg, he has saved up a bit of money, and this is the first thing that he wanted to spend it on.
also,
I would
it's
wanna
like
try
our
and,
first
like-
collection of taxes.
I would want to try and like indicate that like, hey, I really appreciate that, but if you instead use this to continue to improve your own life, then maybe you can help others who we will be bringing back here at some point too.
Good
You are the first, but are not the last of your kind.
He smiles at that, thinking for a few moments before nodding and retrieving the silver.
Good man.
So, want to go kill Gruda?
Well, I gotta spend this last 4 days. So if you guys want to make,
Yeah.
Is there actually 4 full days though? Isn't it just 2?
no, I have 2 days for the elixir of life and 2 days for the sunrod.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So does it take any time to like actually affix runes to equipment?
I think it's like in minutes.
Okay.
You don't need to worry about that in this context.
Okay.
Like you can't like mid battle swap from a sword to a bow, but it's easy to do with downtime.
How do your claws work, Gerrit? Can we get potency on your claws somehow?
No.
You can.
Well, yes, but also no.
Depends on the claw.
The 2/3 of my claws, yes. So my basically when I'm using my bestial elixir, which is the one that I've been using, my unarmed attacks automatically already have an item modifier, so I can't use runes on top of that item modifier.
The mutagen basically gives potency with it.
Yeah.
But when you're clawing things with your hag claw without mutagen,
Mhm.
that benefits from hand wraps in the exact same way that every other unarmed attack in the game does.
I see.
And technically, like the mutagen would benefit if you had a +2 ring of runestone of potency. It's
Right.
just it already has one, and they don't stack with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not necessarily like a huge percentage of the time that you have those out, right? Necessarily.
It kind of goes back and forth. So it's very similar to the fact that I wear armor, right? Like I have a mutagen that gives me armor that's slightly better than the armor I'm currently wearing, but I choose to use the bestial one instead. So I have like 1 less AC, but I have bonuses to hit. So I can kind of like shift my bonuses around as needed.
Gotcha.
But at the current phase that we're at, my bestial mutagen does pretty well for me because it also puts me up a damage die.
I feel like I'm probably the one least in need of rune upgrades because I tend to already be one of the more heavy-hitting combatants.
I definitely need more damage.
And spreading that love around a little bit, I think, would benefit our party more than like
Mhm.
stacking more on me.
Besides, whenever you go up against an enemy with a magic weapon, you just take it.
Yeah,
And
you have
my
unlimited
fists are
magic
already
weapons.
magical, so I don't have to worry about like weird magical resistance bypass stuff or anything like that. Like all my attacks are already magical.
Okay. So we can put potency on the three of us. We don't have a duality ring yet either.
I do not yet. I wonder if can I ask Olag to send for one so the next time we're here I can have one.
We have to pay up front.
It's something that he would need the gold for.
Ah man,
55
How much
gold.
does it cost? Oh,
55. I only have 12.
right.
Oh
I'd
well.
give you mine, but I don't have enough to help you. I have like 3 gold, so
Yeah, me broke boy.
I just gotta solve more cases.
yeah.
I mean, solve them how you do, and then you will just be rich in no time.
Damn straight.
Okay,
You-
so
you have one last case in your current set, by the way. It is the hardest one.
Man.
we're
Okay.
about to spend another 4 days of downtime anyway. So,
All right, let's go.
Good luck.
okay, I'll just do income crafting for crafting.
Okay, yep.
Big roll.
Oh no.
What task level am I at for crafting now?
Let's see. If you're just earn income level around Oleg's, that'll be task level 2. All right. So we have got a
Oh, I finally fucked up.
5s. You pass, but you do not crit pass on your hardest case. Wave. I'm sorry, Wave. It's a rough set of rolls. You have just rolled Robert's combat rolls from last session, right
Yeah.
there.
Everybody gets their time, I guess.
Everybody gets one.
All right. So Wave and Kalat, you will both earn a total of 1 silver and 6 copper in this time. Gerrit, you were able to buy down the price of your crafts,
Yeet.
and then 5s, you earn 28 silver. Oh no, sorry, you're expert. 32 silver. So 3 gold, 2 silver from cracking the final case in the set.
Nice.
Dang.
Making
Still
that
not enough.
bank.
It was
This
not
last
50
case,
gold. This is true.
50 gold. Like 3 silver, 1 gold, 2 gold, 55 gold. It was the case
Busted
of the king.
it was a huge drug deal where you get a percentage.
Then you also get a 6th case. It just says the Stag Lord on it. Go crack it.
And
I bet you
The-
got
the-
50 gold.
Yeah, the other case is the one that he's actually here for.
Yeah. And just as a real quick note, that was 5 cases at task levels 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Nice.
Okay.
Man,
Man, I can see how if I'm able to solve these in like a total of 4 weeks, yeah, they need me.
Well, you can always make another character. Fives is like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going
Yeah.
home.
Fives
There's no
leaves for
frogs back in Rest Off.
I don't
Yeah.
need a book. I don't need to write
Who
a
needs
book.
it?
I'll make
then
up a book.
He comes back in a month and a half realizing that contract pay is different than just being hired by the guild.
True.
Yeah, they paid me 2 silver per case. Fuck that shit. I'm out.
I am going to pass off my sun rod that I crafted over to Fives because I know that he needs it.
I do.
There you go, homie. It is a one-time use. It does a thing. It
A
does
light
that
one, right?
thing for 6 hours. It causes bright light. It can be very useful.
Sunrod. The rod of sun.
And I'll pass this crafted elixir of life over to Wave because I think that
thanks.
you are in the most need currently.
I do not have any elixirs of life.
I think we're completely out of like.
Mm-hmm. As that is the results of my crafting.
Also, on the 4th night of that chain, everyone but Gerrit give me a will save.
Oh no. Oh, that's me.
You
That is you.
you divine junkies.
All right.
We're
Gonna
fine.
crack the code.
I'm not fine.
All right, I am
Ooh.
I am 100% ready to use this sunrod.
Oh, we're out of downtime money making time? We're in a combat situation? Alright, we can roll big.
Alright, we've got 2 will saves and a sunrod.
Why does your son have a YouTube link?
I'm so confused.
Alright, let's look at it. What do we got here?
Yes. Title of video.
Title of video. Thank you for the follow, 20 cards.
Fives? Still looking for that will save from you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was too distracted with my memes.
All good.
Hold on. I choose to fail the first save of some flay leaf in my tent on this 4th night. And then
Okay.
I choose to succeed my second one. Everything's fine. We're chilling.
Just getting high.
Just a little like just a little something. We've been spice it up with something for my personal collection, you know.
I need to document the effects. Alright.
That's the most
I see.
Gerrit thing. I'm gonna take this incredibly poisonous thing that gives me a positive benefit at the start, but might like kill me in the end. Tick, 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 tick. We got it.
Alright. The 3 of you are greeted with horrible nightmares during the night. In all of them, you are running around in the streets of Restov, but it's not the streets you know. It's a wild maze of dark corners and narrow streets. You have no idea where you're going, just running in a panicked sprint as some sort of shadowy hound chases you, howling, always seeming to be just behind you. As you rush by, in several windows, you can just faintly see an aged-looking gnome's reflection in it. Fives and Wave. It's an unpleasant dream, and certainly not an experience you enjoy, but when you wake, you ultimately wake with no further effect than a slightly poor sleep. However, Kalat, as you wake, you just still feel some of the torment of this within your mind. You are drained 1. You lose your level in max HP and take a -1 to con checks.
Oh.
Oof.
You also, upon waking, would recognize that the gnomish figure looks a lot like the one that was described to you.
Of the Apprentice of Dovin.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
He is short.
The defining feature of the gnomes. Also, in art, I am going to post what you saw
Fucking got me, right?
of the gnome.
Halberd.
That's what you were describing, right?
No, not at all.
I think he
You
was
just- you
describing
said
like
an axe with a
barricades.
point.
No,
Said
he
said
didn't
an
say
axe.
that.
X.
He
An
said axe.
An X.
X.
No.
Yeah, X.
You said axe.
Only one letter difference, but makes a world of difference.
Oh, that was the token. I meant the full one.
Oh, I know this art.
His name's Brian, but different.
He was describing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not a.
Wooden X's.
So why? If he was describing that, why did he say axe, Colin?
You just have bad hearing, Kevin.
No. He's the investigator. I'd trust him. I think it's the rest of us that are wrong.
We know which part of which investigation he was
That's how those
investigating the
cases get
axes on.
Just like that, Jay-Z always complaining about all his axes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, with that rather unpleasant start to the day, as a quick note, Gerrit, you feel nothing. You had nothing but a faint, pleasing memory of a dream that you do not remember upon waking.
Cool.
I don't take it that where is it? The pearly white spindle that gives me resistance to negative energy.
That does not
That's
apply
the
to this,
simple
no.
I convey with my companions about the dream that I had last night, and
I was like, wow, I had a similar dream too.
Me
Anybody
too,
else have
and you
that
guys
dream?
feel like shit right now, right? Because like, Jesus, that
no, I'm fine.
short thing is like scary.
I mean,
No.
I'm
Every
fine.
time I close my eyes, I see him staring through the window at me.
I still
very
can't look in the
interesting.
mirror at night.
I look quite exhausted, and I'm just like, no, that got me fucked up pretty good.
If this
Feeling-
is going to be a recurring experience, perhaps our plans have changed.
Don't we still need to take the priest?
The dog.
I told him
seems
we'd
to
take
have
him when we
found
left.
us.
He might need to wait on account of the fact that there's some dude cursing us every night.
Alright, someone else is gonna have to go tell him though.
I walk up to the.
I look at
and-
Fives like, someone else meaning you.
Nope.
I walk up to the priest and I go, "We're headed out, except you're not coming with us. A magical, powerful mage is trying to kill us from afar. We have to go solve that before we can go back to the temple, lest we die on our way there. See ya."
You require Aristil's aid to protect you from this foul magic.
Do you have the ability to
You
cast that
must-
from right here?
Swiftly go to the temple.
Man, Swift is like a 3-day journey. I don't know that we got that time. We probably need to go find, the guy that's doing. We'll be back.
Is there no chance that it may be on the way?
No, there's not. Listen, you've been on a long journey. You've waited this long. You can wait just a little bit longer. Know that we've cleansed the temple, but don't let your wants jeopardize the ability to get things. What good would it do if we got there and your party just fell over dead?
I may be able to help protect you against this foul priest.
Can you fight? I'm sorry, I'm not there. Never mind. I'm totally not there.
He just Five sticks his head out the doorway. Can you fight? And then ducks his head back in. Doesn't even wait. And what manner of protection would that be?
I could bestow a blessing of Aristil's light upon you.
Does that prevent random gnomes from invading your dreams and draining you?
will help.
Hey, have at it then.
It'll be perhaps half an hour for the ritual.
That's fine. I'm gonna go shove some potency runes into our weaponry, so go for it.
Okay. Is it just you?
I mean, what does the blessing do?
Aristil's light will fill you, protect you from unholy manners. From unholy spirits and ill curses.
I think a few of my friends actually got hit by it too. Their will was a little bit better than mine. I enjoy sleeping, so I'm not kind of like willfully holding myself together. Those two are mine. The other one, he's probably gonna ignore anything about gods and stuff. So yeah, we could use 3, probably.
To the shrine. And he begins making his way towards a very small makeshift shrine that he has set up just along the side of Oleg's house.
I was about to immediately interrupt and say, "Stop it with the fucking temple," but I was like, "He's probably going to something else."
Let's go.
Hey,
Well, then we can leave right
vibes.
away. He grabs his bag and saddles his horse. And
Oh no, he doesn't have horse. He's gonna walk the whole way.
Does Kalat gather the other two?
I do. But hey, the priest is gonna actually bless us to help out with the recurring theme of nightmares trying to sabotage it.
And the news
So we
of
can
not
go do
going
it.
to the temple? Did he
I-
take it well?
Yep. We're not. Yeah, well, I mean, he wants to go to the temple, but I told him once we stop dying, then we'll take him to the temple.
Okay.
I will not accept this priest's blessing. I would not potentially jeopardize my companion's surgical skills. I'd prefer to stay away from any god-related
Oh, that's a good
protections
point.
and blessings. I'll
a good
be fine
point.
on my own for now.
Just another quick note that I will mention that Gerrit would be 100% aware of, though if he has in character inflated its scope, that is perfectly acceptable. But you would know that it's specifically the act of the divine healing. Any other divine spells will not interfere with this. It's just if they are directly contrasting with his own method of healing is when it causes concern.
From a
Gerrit
player
would.
perspective, I'm aware of that, but I
Mhm.
don't.
Okay,
As a
yeah.
character perspective, I don't associate myself with godly, divine.
Totally fine. Just wanted to make sure that wasn't an out of character disconnect of not understanding how that one worked.
I appreciate
I
it.
turn around and I say something asshole. It's like, I don't pray to the god of metals either, but I still wear armor, and I walk over.
I mean,
One
I'm
of our
going.
lives.
I would not
Every
be-
bonus cycle. Well, actually, my character's not a fan of magic. Okay, would there be a difference between magic and holy blessings, or is that one and the same in the universe?
This is something that you would be well familiar with as a trained hunter of those who mispractice magic. There are 4 schools of magic. Arcane, and that's going to be more like your traditional wizard in a high tower. That is arcane magic.
Okay.
Divine, which would be priests, clerics, Jod. Primal, which will be forces of nature, the Fae, druids, things of that sort. And then occult. Cult will be it's sort of a collection of a few aberrations, bards. So it's not all evil by any means, despite the name. Though the blood magic that you are seeking, the Dovin, that is occult. That is 100% occult, gone in the worst way.
Okay. Then in
Witches.
that case, I will
And no
not take the
spellcasters.
blessing. As my character
Sorry, I missed
probably
that.
would not.
You will not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are good and evils in all of those. Just as a note, none of them are like the good guys.
Except for 5, where everybody's the bad guy.
And I'm the bad guy, so I walk over there.
All right, so
You are
it's
the
just
resident
one
bad
then.
guy.
Turns out they're allergic to shrines, so they're gonna pass.
He gives a slight frown. Very well. Please, if
But
you will sit.
To their defense, though, they were able to resist the dwarves' wily temptations. Gnomes, whatever. And I sit down.
They are similar in size, he says with a smile.
Agreed.
It's
We see eye
mostly
to eye on these
it's mostly
things.
just the fact that he's like a nature priest or whatever, so he's got those like scented pine cones at his shrine that I just can't.
It's not that I have a complete aversion to everything godly. It's just like all these above world gods. I'm not really a big fan of.
He begins a ritual. There is prayer, there is incense, there is the burning of several sacred leaves. In total, it is about a 30-minute ritual. Though it's slowly building as he continues it. You do feel, though nowhere back to normal, just a little bit of your spirit and energy slowly restored to you. It is not enough to remove the drained condition, though you gain a +1 bonus against necromancy and curse spells for 24 hours.
You crafty person. I'm not taking you with me. All right. Condition. +1 blessing of Aristil.
Yep.
+1.
I am sure that if we were to head to the temple, my strength would be restored stronger, and I could aid more.
+1 circumstance bonus to what?
On any necromancy or curse spells.
Necromancy or curse spells. Got it.
And I do not know to whom you pray, if any. But in this moment, Aristil is listening. If you wish to offer a prayer, he will hear you.
Thanks, Aristil. Glad I saved your shrine. I'm not really good at these things. I'm more of a practical person.
Practical magic.
He
You
sort of
Translate
thinks
for
for
me
a
and
moment.
embellish.
He thinks for a moment and then begins whispering, not audibly enough to hear. As a pure out of character question, is your character in any way genuine about their appreciation to Aristil in this exact moment?
Yeah.
Give me a religion check.
Oh, I'm great at these. Dice rolling's been hot tonight. Actually, that's my highest roll of the night. Yeah.
You feel your senses sharpen slightly. A keen hunter's sense. Once in the next week, you may cast True Strike for free.
Oh. Neat.
Use it now. Test it out.
Yeah. Is that a 4-day week or
A real week, 7 days. And just as a real quick note, the synopsis of True Strike, it's one action to make your next attack have 5e's version of advantage.
Cool. All right. I think sounds like we're heading off. Instead of going to the west, we're going to be traveling towards the east.
Thank you, Jod. Oh,
He gives a nod to you.
There.
Aristil spoke back to me, by the way. Pretty genuine.
what do we know about magic as far as how feasible, like, do we have any kind of assumptions we can make about how Dovin's Hound has tracked us, found us, cast a spell on us? Would it be likely to require some, like, object of focus or some kind of, like, knowledge of where we are or who we are, or just...
I would
Hearsay
assume
would
I
be
would
fine.
have that magical
Yeah.
knowledge.
Based on Fives' prior research and into Dovin, and assuming that his magic operates off of a similar path, he would likely need your blood.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Interesting.
Well, if we know that he's coming from the east of the Thorn, right?
Where would he have gotten our blood?
East of the Shrike and south. I
Well,
mean,
doesn't work for the Stag Lord. We fought them quite a few times. Any one of them could have. We left blood behind.
Yeah. Would I know if dry blood could be used, or if it had to be like fresh blood?
You would know that it could.
Okay. Yeah, that's possible.
well, my
It's
memories.
also possible that Cyrlo has turned. That's also. I think he's the only one that has direct contact with the Stag Lord that we fought.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
That's
all the
still running
instances
around.
that we've had with the Stag Lord's troops has resulted in every single one of the enemies either dying or being captured, except for when we dealt with Cyrlo and left potentially a lot of blood at the scene there, which if I was Cyrlo in his position and knew of Dovin's dog's abilities, then I would have collected samples of our blood for sure as a bargaining tool or whatnot. But also could have just been like the Stag Lord sent troops to that area and was like, what
Yeah.
happened here? And they're like, all right, well, we're collecting blood or whatever.
Mhm.
Just trying to make sure that there wasn't any other obvious point of like, ooh, we didn't think about this thing. But
Turns out he wasn't
And there's-
specific, and he's impacting like 3 other people right now too.
Most-
My only contribution here is that there is not a blatant out of character thing that, like, in character, there's no way you'd have forgotten
Yeah.
this from real world time.
I mean, we've had a lot of tussles over in the west side towards Cyrlo's camp, but that's largely in Cyrlo and Cruda's areas. We could just try to fully take the fight to them and march towards the southeast to find where the Blood Mage keeps his camp.
yeah, that's the only idea I have. Is just try and go find him.
Other than backtracking, ending up back over towards here.
Yep, let's go find the gnome.
While we're here, I need to buy some rations. I can't forget this time.
Oh,
I need to buy, I think, probably 21 rations. I don't know how much that costs.
I think rations are in sets of 10 or something.
Sets of 7.
Sets of 7.
In which case, I will buy 21 rations. Convenient.
So we're just gonna give a potency rune to Gerrit, 5s, and Kalat, and then who's taking the striking rune?
I think 5 should probably take the striking rune personally, but
I will not be opposed to having some extra damage.
I'm also like, I legitimately do think that Wave should get potency first over me, because I'm gonna be in my beast form for basically any engagements, and that is the +2 item bonus for my hits.
Okay.
I'll be using that over my Hag Claw for the majority of things.
Sure.
okay. And that's +1 to hit and damage, or just +1 to hit?
+1 to hit.
And for potency and striking, +1 to both.
No. +1 to hit. It'll be a +1 on the item stat, and then is there a way to add
1d6
striking?
damage, right?
It's-
Yeah. Striking adds a die of damage. So if
Oh,
you have
die.
a 1d6 weapon, it adds 1d6. If you have a 1d10 weapon, it adds 1d10.
That's cool.
So, okay. So if I have my thing is 1d6 +2, it is now 2d6 +2, right?
Correct.
Okay.
If you click on the weapon entry, under the damage section, there's a dice value. Change it from 1 to a 2.
Yeah, I am. Ooh,
Also, just as a quick note, don't forget to also update the int macro that you have, because that will also do an extra d6 of damage.
Mm.
The int macro? What int macro?
I forget what it's called. Study target.
The
Is that right?
recall knowledge.
Oh, my devise a stratagem?
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it.
So-
Though you will actually want to make new macros, not change them, because you have 2 weapons. So one of them will be +1 potency with +1 striking, and one of them will not.
I see.
You
I
are
see.
temporarily lopsided.
I also update crit damage, right?
That's pretty nifty.
Okay, I think I have all of that.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I've bought rations as well.
Yes, I have bought many a ration. Formula. Elixirs. Yes. Moderate. +2 item bonus. Yeah.
I want to delete.
Yeah, I think that my like level progression is gonna feel kind of similar to like Eldritch Knights in 5e, where there will be some levels where it'll be better to go one way and some levels where it'll be better to go the other way. But it's usually just like a 1 or 2 point swing up until I get to the point where I can start combining my mutagens. Which is not too far off, honestly.
All right, time for adventure.
Adventure!
All right. Also, Wave, I notice you still seem to be injured. You will be full health.
Oh, I'm not. Am I injured on my? I am injured on my character.
Be healed, friend.
So as you are leaving Oleg's, you get like 5 minutes of riding out. When you see someone just sort of waving from the brush.
Ooh.
Okay.
Approaching, I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stands up as you do, just a short sword at his side, short bow slung over his back, as he says, Cirlo told me to tell you, Gav Bushuan passed by his camp 5 days ago.
Gafushuen. Have we ever actually heard the name? I lean over and I'm like, about Gaytall?
Mm-hmm.
Putting my hand very close to the ground.
He gives a nod.
Ah.
Interesting.
Did
Well, it
he say
seems
where he was headed?
He was headed to visit Kruta to find his brother.
I see.
Thank you.
He gives a nod, and unless anyone goes to speak, he then will turn and begin to walk away.
Well, that certainly changes our plans.
Seems like we're heading back to retracing our steps.
2 birds with 1
Kruta.
stone.
Onward to Kruta's camp, which is 2 tiles southwest
More
of-
like a bird and a half.
of that.
A bird and a half.
All right. Well, we head off in that direction then. About face.
And
Yep.
we, very importantly, don't go back to camp to let our priest friend know. I just wanted to know that when we come back to Oleg's, there's like a 70% chance the guy's just dead. Because we left him and he never makes it to his temple and we're cursed for all of eternity.
Oh no.
Especially Kalat.
What? No, I got the blessing of the god.
Yep. Cursed forever.
Oh no.
So, headed straight out without returning? Or was that a joke? I'm not actually sure.
I don't have.
Could go either way.
Damn. I don't currently have any intentions of returning. I think that we should deal with the gaff as soon as possible.
Bless you.
I
just
think
for
that there's a risk of bringing him along in this particular instance.
for ease of searching, I will give you his correctly spelt name, not
Oh,
the
no.
misremembered bandits version of it.
I was so close, probably.
Shmin Galfanakis. Galfiensua.
It's a good name.
Shmin Galfiensua. It's freaking gnomes, man, and their gnome names.
Galfian Schwa. Okay, well, I think that we're then headed back towards. We probably don't want to go. Or I guess, wait, is Cirlo's camp the only crossing that we ever found?
It is the only crossing that you have found so far outside of just going around.
Going around may be the correct choice here, though.
Yeah, I don't
So we have this big. Okay, we have this big bar. Well, that's don't snap. This big bar that says crew to leader camp tiles 2 tiles southwest. Southwest of where? This one?
That was from this spot here.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's 2 tiles southwest, then going this way isn't that much out of our way anyway.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I'm fine with that.
Let's do it.
Besides, they might have left spies in Xerlo's camp.
Mm-hmm. Don't want to bring unnecessary heat to Cirlo.
So setting off due west then?
Yep.
Yes.
You make it through the plains, entering the forest, and not more than about 30 minutes of making your way through the trees, you hear a familiar voice call out from above you. Hi!
Oh.
As
Hey,
you see
hey.
King Bittertut floating in the air above.
That brings a smile to my face.
You're back! You got rid of all the claps.
we did.
We did.
Thank you. It's very, very much nicer here. None of the animals scream anymore. Not for
Good to
those
hear.
anyway.
This is good. And is Pervalash good?
Pervalash is good. He's not here right now, but he's good. He's swimming. I told you I'd bring you something. Well, I'd bring you to something if you could get rid of the claps. Do you want to follow me? It's a ways away.
What direction?
That way. And she points slightly south, but mainly west.
Sure.
We're headed that way anyway.
Yeah.
We'll follow you.
All right, let's go.
Where have you been? What have you done? What have you been doing? Have you met anyone else? What's happened?
We give a slightly genericized recant of what we've done recently.
Found a large spirit bear.
It was a wolf, wasn't it? Oh, I know what bear you're talking
we
about.
saw
yeah,
it.
But
okay.
we
big
also
wolf.
found a large wolf.
Okay.
So we described the large wolf to her as well.
I was thinking of the temple bear, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
thinking
I totally forgot about the bear. I was thinking the wolf as well. Sorry. Which one are you referring to? I don't remember who was the one that was
mentioned-
actually speaking. Okay.
I mentioned that we met a large spirit bear, and then somebody else mentioned that we also met a giant wolf.
In
All
response
of
to
the
the
trees.
in
well,
response to
met's
the
a
wolf,
strong word for the wolf.
She said, "I've seen him too. He watches over this area."
Is he like a spirit guardian of the forest type of deal?
I don't know.
Okay.
We don't know either.
But unless there's any specific questions you have, she is going to lead you onward into the hex to the west, which is going to be a full day of travel and rest.
And rations.
Your normal watches are uninterrupted as you make your progress over.
Hey, can we
And
stop by some water on the way?
Of course, and she'll lead you along the way towards a large pond. You are able to refreshen yourself.
I
Thank
heard rest. Where did we end up?
This hex here.
Nice.
Then the next day, she continues on, leading you this way.
Perfect.
Again, you are not bothered in your travels. As you make your way, she eventually slows down, just sort of fluttering from tree to tree. It's somewhere right around here. And then she points out, and you spot two broken trees that seem to be just like two trees that are like that. And you see a body beneath it.
Wait, hold on.
Not
Hold
like
on.
our treasure map indicator.
Not a
Nope.
lightning tree.
Not
No.
lightning trees,
Okay,
nope.
okay.
There. It's the bad man.
Ah.
Oh, the hunter they killed.
I go investigate. The body.
You can see that he has been dead for quite a long time. The nature has taken care of his flesh already. Though
Yay, Flash.
most of what he has seems to have decayed and withered away with time and weather, there are some that are still rather pristine, likely due to magical aid.
Ooh.
You see that his leather armor is as pristine as it looked like you bought it fresh from a shop. It also has, I forget the exact term, but it's the equivalent of +1 potency on it, as well as a composite longbow, which you quickly recognize to have a striking potency rune upon it.
Cool.
Additionally, he has a knife with a potency and bleeding rune upon it. The bleeding, which Kalat would be easily able to identify with a bit of time, on a critical hit, deals the weapon damage in persistent damage.
Oh,
That's a lot of fancy things.
That is a lot of fancy
Yeah.
things.
I
somebody
say to
write
Tig.
those down.
I will type.
Okay.
Also, how much did we end up? Is this 4 GP what we ended up with at the end of the crafting?
Party funds.
Where's that music coming from?
Oh, sorry. I'll stop singing.
Where-
Internally, Brian. Internally.
What? You're not supposed to make music. Mute. It just played an ad. The website that I've had up for like 45 minutes with
Well, you gotta
nothing,
love it.
no sound. It just played an ad with sound.
Also,
You know what you need in your life? Music.
speaking of
bud.
that,
Reminding me of music.
speaking of that bleed rune, I've actually been working on. See if I can find it / remember it. An impossible cake.
I'm sorry.
I
What?
remember that.
No.
You mentioned
It's
that
not
before.
it's not the impossible cake. It is in here somewhere, man. Is it the exsanguinating ammunition?
Oh, goodness.
After you deal damage to a creature with an activated exsanguinating ammunition, a creature gains the listed weakness to persistent bleed damage. They gain weakness 1 to persistent bleed damage, whatever that does.
Weakness is whenever you take this damage, you take the weakness damage as well. So
Oh,
you would add 1 to any bleed amount.
Yeah,
Fancy.
that can make that ammunition. It's a little bit expensive for the effect, but treasure map. We get everything taken down?
Brian's finishing
He's
typing.
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 Oh, the typing. I see, I see. I can also make glue bullets.
That sounds cool. I don't have a gun.
You
That
know,
does sound cool. Oh, Fives needs a gun. Not gonna lie. I feel like every investigator should have a gun.
also there was a new book that came out. I can tell because I have new formulas.
Guns. That is the new book.
Is it really?
Yeah, Guns and Gears. What it's called.
Well, no, there was. I think
Oh,
there was another one. Hold on. I remember the Guns and Gears one came out, and that's where I got the glue bullet from. But there was one that came out since then, maybe.
Oh, was Secrets of Magic since then? I don't remember the order.
Pathfinder
And then-
Special
and then
Fumbus.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know,
Your
but I have
chance,
formulas
do
from it.
you know what a fumbus is?
Yeah, obviously it's what
Tig does.
it's what teaches you how to make pressure bombs, and also whatever no, that's from the Society Guide.
We do live in a society.
We do be living in a
The
society,
Fumbus
though.
Society.
That society do be fumbus.
So
Fumbusin'.
armor potency runes are 160 gold, by the way.
Nice.
Fancy. This is some. I mentioned to take that this is some very fancy things.
Seems acting bad can get a lot of that around here.
Well, we're the good, and putting that on us, maybe we'll get rid of more bad.
He gives a smile to that.
All right.
Wave contemplates his goodness.
We have a +1 armor potency rune. We have two weapon potency runes.
Mhm.
2 +1 weapon potency runes. And we get a bleeding rune stone, which is TGP. 3, and armor potency is item 5, 160 G.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank
So-
you, Tig.
Well, we can. Yeah, thank you. We can potency up.
Fives his other weapon.
Yep, and Gerrit. Do you need a potency rune per claw or fist?
No.
No.
I would only need
Okay.
one for my hat claw, regardless of
Okay.
weird
Does-
dual wielding fistness.
Would Wave need to?
No. So one applies to all unarmed attacks you have. You can have punches, kicks, bite,
Okay.
spines you
would.
shoot. It's all one
If,
rune.
if we have one extra one, I would use it on my bow.
Oh, fair enough.
But I don't.
so-
It's like the lowest priority of all the
Okay.
things.
Yeah. So then we have
only if we
have
run
three.
out.
We have 3 non-potency weapons. Right now, it's Fives' other Akali's. It is Gerrit's Hagclaw, and it's your bow.
We got how many?
Also-
from this?
We got 2 potency runes from this, so we can get 2 out of the 3.
Okay.
Also, just saying, up until we start the ripping and replacing processes, there's a pretty nice composite longbow that, while not the exact type of composite longbow that our fishy friend likes to use,
The thing I have on my arm is already a composite longbow.
yeah, but this one's +1 potency striking.
But if
It only
you
takes
just
minutes to move
take-
this stuff around, by the way.
Yeah.
take the
Oh,
things
okay.
off, yeah. we're probably gonna sit here, make camp, and rip all these things off and throw them on people right now.
Fair.
Yeah,
It,
you can do that without issue. Of just take a few minutes. I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's like a minute to move it or 10 minutes to move it. I don't remember.
For
Not
some
long.
reason, we didn't do that with all the other ones we've encountered so far, but we're doing it now.
I thought that you needed like special like crafting like a crafting setup.
Well, Robert has the crafting.
You need crafting tools,
Mm-hmm.
which Robert does have, and as well do you.
Yeah.
you need magical crafting in order to move the runestones and stuff.
I don't think
Or
you.
is it
I
just-
don't think you need it to just move one.
Okay. But well, we know now, so we're good.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank
we
you, Rex.
give the potency to 5s, and we give a potency to Gerrit or to Gerrit, right?
Yeah,
You didn't want it for your bow.
bow's the last thing on the list.
Okay.
I don't use
Roger,
it that a
Roger.
whole often.
Me potency on that.
Then we've got a bleeding runestone and another striking runestone.
One.
The bleeding one's pretty cool.
Bleeding one's really interesting.
Who crits the most out of all of us?
Mm,
Technically-
It's
I mean,
technically
I think we're all
um,
equal technically,
waves.
but like
Waves and I think have the highest bonus to
I-
hit.
yeah, I tend
My
to roll
highest is a
crits
plus
lot, but
11.
I don't know if that really matters.
Well, isn't it you a 20 or just rolling 10 higher than the success? So whoever has the highest bonus would crit pass more.
I
Mhm.
believe we're all at the same level of bonus of plus 11.
Well,
Yeah, if
then
you're using your main stat, I think.
yeah. Well, in
and then
that
it probably
case, it's
goes
who
down
has
to
the most
makes
attacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is
I tend
wave.
to have the most attacks.
yeah, because you can actually swing 4 times in a round, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'll take the bleeding one if you want to give it to me. That sounds cool, Zach. And it fits with my shark stance stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharky boy. That guy from Naruto who's got the big shark sword that like bleeds people.
Dude, that sword is cool.
Those are just your fists now.
Also, I don't remember what your other stance damage type is that isn't the shark stance, but just as a note, it can only cause the bleed when you're doing piercing or slashing damage. I know shark
Oh.
applies that, but if you're swinging with just a fist not in shark stance, you will not activate the bleeding rune.
Fair.
It does water damage. I believe.
Water's blood.
Water
Blood's
tends
water.
to be bludgeoning, but isn't a damage type on its own, unless it's
Oh.
cold.
I'll look it up. Flowing wave attack. That didn't work at all.
Mhm.
Well, I'll get to it in a bit while we dole out the other stuff.
I wouldn't mind taking the striking rune.
Go for
But we could have perfect symmetry on 5s.
it.
True.
Yeah, that seems fine.
And then what's everybody's AC?
Yes.
And who's wearing actual armor?
You do
I
not
am
need to
not.
wear actual armor to
Okay.
use a runestone. That's a note.
Clip it on your nipple.
You can literally
Thank you
affix
for
that
the worst
anywhere. That's your
interpretation on
choice.
this.
There is
there you go.
technically the Prince Charles route.
My AC is 19 when I'm going ham. But also
Nice.
it's anywhere between 19 and 22, so
21. Unless I'm using a shield spell. And
Fives, what's
very,
your
very
AC?
rarely will I be 22.
5s is 20, I think.
Sounds like we throw it on Gerrit.
Yeah, I'm 20.
I will take some beefcakeness. Is that just
Yeah.
that's a +1 to AC?
Yes, sir.
I will use this tool.
Also, while it doesn't mechanically do anything, it does also prevent just like natural wear and tear and dirt and grease from applying to your armor.
That's nice. So I just
Thanks.
change my item bonus to 5 there. Okay, and now I mentally figure out what this does. That actually is really nice because that means that I... Wait, hold on. Mental gymnastics. My Drakeheart mutagen is a +2 right now. So my AC is 22 by default. -1, -1, +1. Okay. Luckily, we had the wrong math in the quick reference sheet already, so everything's Gucci.
Yes, of course, it had to go to the person with the most amount of work to put it on.
Also,
Calculation.
my flowing wave attacks are bludgeoning water, and my shark strikes are the ones that are slashing, I think.
They're either slashing or piercing. I
or
don't remember which, but they definitely are one of the two.
They're piercing, it looks like, actually. Yeah, piercing. So when I'm in my damage stance, the bleed attacks will work. When I'm in the trip stance, the bleed won't work.
Okay. I think that's still pretty good, though, right? Because your shark stance is your one that you have kind of been leaning on the most in the damage.
Yeah, I think it's still pretty good. It also has the higher base damage, which I don't know if that matters.
Well,
Is the bleed a fixed number, or is it the base off of the damage die of the weapon you're using?
It is the damage die of the weapon. So if you're swinging with a D8 weapon, it's a D8 bleed. If it's a striking D8 weapon, it's 2D8 bleed.
I think Fives is 18 AC, actually.
No, I'm at 20.
It says, well, I don't know how you have a mod 2.
Do I have light armor on? Maybe I have light armor. Yes. Wait, where do I see my equipment?
Yeah, you have
I
light
have studded
armor on.
leather armor.
So it would be 2. I guess so. Train 6. Okay, I see what. All right. These numbers are tough. All right, that makes sense. So I guess the mod is your dex mod.
Yeah, the mod is your dex mod, and it can potentially be capped.
Okay. Are we good to continue or still figuring things out?
I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Can I take a short break?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a quick check-in question, how much longer are people wanting to go for in this session?
I mean, we usually go for another hour, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
that's
11:30s.
Yeah, right.
I didn't remember if we went to 11:30 or if 11:30 was like we can stretch it to there but we don't want to unless we have to kind of situation.
I think it's generally whenever we find a good stopping point between 10:30 and 11:30 is when we'll call it. That's my thinking.
Yeah,
Like if we're in the middle of a
Seems
battle,
reasonable.
keep it going.
I don't really want to go past 11:30 pretty much at all, really, but I can stretch it a couple of minutes if we have to.
Okay.
Julio.
Maybe a good stopping point between 11 and 11:30. I don't know.
We can continue on a bit more though. That is all I was getting at.
Okay.
Couple minute break, everyone.
Liquid time.
Fuck you, bro.
Yes. I got string cheese.
String cheese.
String cheese.
My next campaign, I'm going to play an inventor with the sole goal of inventing string cheese.
Yes. Always loved the chef character conceptually, but never actually gone through with it. It's the kind of thing that you really gotta, like, triple down on, or it'll just never come up.
Mm-hmm.
Pathetic human vehicle. Now you face me! Miss Kagapa. What the fuck? This is horrifying.
What?
That was just this is every
Skagapa. Sklagons use these strange balls of writhing worms to intercept and interpret the dreams of sleeping subjects. For 1 week, any creature that sleeps within 5 feet of the Skagapa has increasingly fitful dreams. If it was fatigued, the creature must succeed a DC 5 flat check when it sleeps. On failure, the creature remains fatigued until it gets another full night's rest. At any point during this week, a creature who takes possession of the Skagapa can tap into its occult powers to learn 10 minutes worth of information about the creatures whose sleep has been affected.
Wait for me in my dreams.
I hate this.
To do so, I didn't think it would get worse, but it does actually get worse. To do so, the creature must cast Mind Link on the Skagapa and succeed on a DC 15 occultism check. Which, like, the only thing worse than a writhing ball of worms that reads people's thoughts is that you then have to Mind Link with it.
You need to read its thoughts.
1 week after it is placed near the creature's bedside, the Skagapa unravels, its constituent worms slither away, destroying the items.
Oh no! What
It's
As
just
you
a
do.
rubber band ball of worms.
Dude, magic items in D&D are wild.
It's the worst thing is that, like, I could just make this. I could have just bought a recipe for this. I could be making it right now.
And another worm, and another worm.
Oops, all worms.
Oops, it's all worms.
Oh my god. Oh, we lost Robert.
I made a worm caster in Pathfinder, like, maybe it was like 7 years ago or something. It was in Josh Rumrill's campaign. But I don't remember who it was, but it was some evil god of pestilence that I was serving as a good cleric. With
Okay.
very much like a you are mistaking visual disgust for evil kind of personality, and like much of his curing is like his cure spells was like a worm that goes through you and clears out the bad blood,
Nice.
literally. And things like that.
Good character.
Like Nurgle, he's just a good guy.
He's just good guy.
It was basically like a genuine good aligned cleric of Nurgle is how he played.
That
The
sounds fun.
Grand Bazaar is something that has, I think, come out potentially recently.
Book-wise?
Yeah. And also whatever that other one was. The Fabumbus.
Bumbus. I don't even know if that's the right word that they use, but fumbus is the word now.
Oh yeah, there's one more thing on the dead hunter's body. It's a Fabumbus. You don't know what it does. Neither do I.
I'm trying to see if there's literally anything else that I can craft that's from that Fumbus book, but I think it's just the pressure bomb.
It is like one of those Cthulhuian, like you can't make out the shape on it of it. It is just incomprehensible.
Well,
It
no,
cannot
I
be
think
described.
I think it's just like a pipe bomb though. that's the kicker. It's this like eldritch Necronomicon, and you open it up and it just is like the anarchist cookbook on the inside. No, yeah, it's literally just a pipe bomb.
They had Grand Bazaar in October, Monsters of Myth in December, Oh, that's not yet out yet. The next one is Monsters of Myth and Absalom, the City of Lost Omens. That book's supposed to be really cool.
Absalom is one of like the popular favorite city settings.
Yeah. They also have Book of the Dead coming out in March as a core rulebook.
Apparently, Fumbus was a Kickstarter, and Fumbus is, I think, the name of a dynamite enthusiast alchemist.
Yeah, I don't even see that in this like Wikipedia article about all the different Pathfinder books. I don't see the
got-
Fumbus book.
Junk Bomb, Librarian's Baton, Overloaded Brain Grenade, which I think is probably the splash art of this because it's like a brain in a jar with a fuse sticking out of it.
Look, Fumbus seems to be a third-party supplement.
Okay.
It's possible for a desperate alchemist to rig the brain container of a defeated alchemical golem to create a volatile, if unusual, explosive.
I feel like Pathfinder 1E like survived on his third-party supplements. Like there were so many of them. Or am I conflating stuff?
1E had a huge amount of first-party content.
Mm.
There also was a huge even amount of third-party content, but like the 1E bubble is, I mean, I don't know, I'm probably going to guess a wrong number, but I would throw out 30 to 40 books worth of content of just first-party.
I see like 60 first-party campaign setting source books for it on this list, and then like another 40 or 50 modules. And
Oh
then
yeah. I wasn't even
70
thinking of like the
adventure paths.
modules and adventure paths.
It's insane.
Yeah, they very much have like the same general style as third edition D&D and 3.5 of just tons of books, tons of hyper specialized content, max number of options.
There's 28 core rule books for first edition. I mean, that's over 9 years of content releases, though, so you know.
All right, we ready to continue?
Yeah. Yep.
Tig Tittertut, upon you guys taking the possessions of the bad man and affixing them to your new weaponry,
Hello, Frog.
says, I
There's
think
some
I better
D&D
go
boys.
find Pervalash. Is there anything you need before I go?
This
Okay,
was
bye.
plenty.
Stay safe.
A joke.
I didn't bring one. If you loan
Next
me
time.
one, I'll have one next time.
I loan you. Let's exchange. Let's both craft one for next.
Okay. And then with that, Tig Tittertut will flutter off into the distance, vanishing into invisibility as she does.
We already let Gripply Batman die. I don't know what to tell you, Frog.
Or Gripply Batman.
Well, then I think we made a whole bunch of advancement with just a little bit of traveling. We can continue going on.
Yep.
I guess we're on the 7th night now?
Yeah, so you'd find the body and it would be like sunsetting. You could get another 30 minutes, hour or so of journeying, but no significant percent of the way through to the next hex.
Cool.
And
And reveal.
the night passes without further incident. The drained condition upon you, Kalat, is fully removed.
Aha.
Nobody having bad dreams?
The blessing. It's working.
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
No,
probably
I just
that.
didn't. I didn't see it at all.
Blessing was actually completely useless. Nice.
Not true. I still have cast True Strike for free once in the next week.
True.
That's a good point.
Let's just not do anything for a week, though.
True. Let's go back and craft.
So from here, I think we should probably go down to this one just to like fully retrace our steps, and then start heading towards the southwest. Sound good?
Sure. As long as I don't have to fight any frogs.
Let's go by the boggart area.
Yep.
No. Nope.
I did kind of want to know what was in this hex, though.
Yeah, we'll have to get there. We're gonna cut a little swath here, and it's gonna drive us nuts. And then next week we'll or week after next we'll do a big exploration.
Okay. I guess.
I think it is weird motivation.
Are you? So you will be. It's a full day's worth of travel, making your way through the forest. Are you going to be resting at the temple, or are you resting in the woods?
We came to the temple anyway.
Did end up going to the temple anyway. I would suggest that we rest in the woods. We don't know what's made the temple home.
We don't know if Jod is scrying the temple and just sees us there and gets pissed off.
How dare they? I'm going to send them nightmares.
Jod is the BBG.
And we just see Jod show up, and she's like, "Ah, guys, I made it here."
No, it's one of those things where it starts pouring rain, lightning flashes, and you see him standing in the distance, and then he's gone.
I'm telling you, when we get back, he's gonna be dead.
So that takes us to the night of the 8th, which I have.
To clarify, you are not in the temple, right?
Yes.
Okay. During the night, you hear the howling of wolves, though they are a good distance away, not enough to wake the sleeping people up, just heard by the one on watch. They continue for some time, but they don't seem to be getting closer at all, eventually moving off in the distance. The night passes.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess
Excuse
we
me.
head out.
Yeah.
Friendly wolves.
It's time to begin. We do have to make the decision. So we know that the Cruda is 2 tiles to the southwest here. Are we trying to beeline it to Cruda, or are we trying to like clear these hexes on the way?
Great question.
Basically, are we exploring this hex, or are we just cutting to this one and then exploring that one?
I think in general, having a better lay of the land of this area is probably a good idea. But I'm down for whatever.
I'm fine for exploring it.
Okay, sounds good.
If we don't explore it, then we're likely to miss the encampment too. Once we get to that square, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that especially the fact that we're not currently being actively hounded tends me towards wanting to explore this next one. So we make our way that way. I have made us disappear.
I shall make you appear. What the
We
heck?
commit a hexploration.
Polygon.
Nice. Oh, it's so
As
curvy.
you have found a river.
Ah, my favorite.
Would you say there's water in this tile?
there is indeed water in the tile?
Nice.
From the rather foul smell as you approach the sound of water, however, you can conclude that this must be the lower river that you've heard of, the Skunk River, named for its scent.
Ah, yes. Lovely.
Is there a landfill upstream?
Well, good thing we kept the soap.
It's generally got the same kind of sulfuric, disgusting smell as the hot springs did, but whereas that was pretty much just concentrated in the hot springs, it is a less intense version of that that continues down the river. It would seem logical to you that perhaps there are similar hot springs or more of them at the end of this one.
Okay.
Makes sense.
What direction is the river flowing?
That is a great question. It would be flowing north.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
How wide is the river? Is it?
It would be flowing south. That's my
Okay,
bad.
good. I was going to say, if you say that the river's flowing north to south, you're wrong, and I'm sorry.
It would hurt my brain a little bit, but it would potentially be accurate.
Rivers flow down, not up, Doomer. Come on, man.
Like a waterfall.
Depends on where you are.
Nope.
You're standing on the northern side of a mountain, going downhill, and the water's just flowing up the mountain.
It's a magical river. What can you say?
Just up and over the mountain. Comes down as like icy sheets on the other end.
Yeah, I could probably scout the river a bit to see if there's like a crossing space.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Well, I mean, we gotta. No,
We gotta
maybe find it
explore
quicker than us,
this side.
Yeah, combination of scout the river for a crossing and explore the hex.
So instead of exploring a hex, can we just send Wave to go explore the river so we can just get a rough outline of where this river goes? Is that possible?
We've got for this hex, we have the where the river goes.
Yeah, I know, but like for the
Oh, you mean
the
further hexes?
boundaries, since you're faster at traveling in the river, or is that just?
You can, but that is a good distance. That would be waiting for days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since he would be leaving the hex and going outside.
He just left.
He's
It's
gone.
okay.
Forever.
I predict that the river ends right here.
Aha! Nice prediction. So we
Wait, one more time. Where's that? I was
Nope.
looking
lost
elsewhere.
forever.
right there, I
Lost
think.
forever. I think I said like right here.
Right.
I neither confirm nor deny.
No, here.
So yes.
So we explore this section of the hex that we have access to, and then we have our fishy friend explore the river and see if we can find any crossings.
Yes.
So as you're searching along, the river seems to be pretty wide and fast throughout. Nothing makes a crossing suitable for horses or non-swimmers really at all. At least in this particular section. Though as you are searching around, you see a small structure up ahead near the river. It seems to be perhaps a very, very ruined watchtower. The walls only going up about 8 feet off of the ground, kind of sunken and lopsided at this point, with another small, equally decayed stone building beside it. As you are just sort of looking at it from the outskirts of the clearing, you spot a slurk as it hops along to behind one of the walls, now out of sight.
Oh no.
I elbow fives in the ribs. And
Uh-oh.
favorite.
Nope.
Favorite.
Frog, look away.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
test out our new weapons.
Do we want to go commit a murder?
We
Is
are
this-
trying to eradicate slurks in the area.
Is this we're in the daytime now, right?
Yeah, this would be like late morning, around 11ish.
Okay.
And just as a brief reminder, slurks are inherently bad, or do they just tend to take on the disposition of their riders? The boggarts, which
Lurks are just animals. They have no alignment in them.
Mhm.
Boggards tend to be bad.
The
Okay.
slurks are kind of pest-like in our experience so far, right?
They
They've always been
are
accompanied with boggarts.
they are carnivorous animals.
Mhm.
Most would think of them the same way they think of wolves, whether that's good, bad, or otherwise.
You can't just go around killing every carnivorous animal. You do
Yeah.
need them for reasons.
I've got the perfect solution for this. We're going to go explore that watchtower. If the slurk is still there and attacks us, then we have no choice, unfortunately.
Yes. I
Fine.
agree with
Otherwise-
the solution.
I heard Five say that slurks deserve life.
Yep.
I didn't say that, but you can't go mess with an ecosystem. Well, you can, but you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would consider at this point. Slurks are the most abundant creature I have found in these woods. I have found no more creatures than I have found in
Bolts.
numbers of slurks. Therefore, they are an
Oh, we found a bunch of
overpopulated
kobolds.
pest.
He's right.
We
Yeah.
did find a bunch of kobolds.
I feel like I've seen more slurks than I've seen kobolds. I'm not
And
gonna
we've definitely
lie.
seen more bandits.
And we eradicate them, by the way.
Yep.
That's not a case
And they
of
are
our point.
also carnivorous pests.
Oh no. Well, let's go check out this this watchtower
Yeah.
somewhat cautiously.
You begin making your way across the clearing when another figure steps out from the watchtower. It is a boggard. It has, rather than the same relatively even green skin of the others, though, it has just like constantly crossing red lines. It looks as though like tattooed upon its flesh. It immediately looks over towards you, taking a crouch stance slightly. Truce.
It's croaking. Get it.
It's his war cry.
Yep. Time to take a drink.
Why do you think it wants to have a truce?
Was that what it was saying?
Yeah.
I thought it was calling us juice.
No, I heard truce.
Wait, I heard moose.
Truce.
Oh,
It was
interesting.
here to style our hair. It was using moose. It's a moose salesman.
I'm
Maybe this one's...
interested to hear what it has to say, I guess.
I approach with weapons out.
As you step forward, it reaches behind what you can see in the watchtower, pulling a great axe into its hand. Truce! You truce! Boggard! The slurk comes around from the side, moving to beside the boggard.
Frog.
All right.
Okay.
So if I
By the way, how do potency and striking runes look? Like what is their physical appearance?
They are basically a small runestone, about like this big or so. They have a sigil on them that those familiar with the runes can identify what it does, and it almost glows like, but it's more of like a neon color kind of glow. Like it doesn't illuminate in blackness, but it is very visible if there is light.
Okay. So anybody looking at a weapon could determine if there is runestones, but no.
At any sort of close distance, yes. At like 60 feet, you might not notice, but otherwise, yes.
Also, I assume they could be like hidden.
Yeah, if they're like physically hidden, that could happen. They are like, they will be on the weapon somewhere, but you could perhaps like, if it's on the hilt and you just sort of position it so your sleeve covers the hilt, you could obstruct it from the
Or
front,
had like
for instance.
a hilt handle covering over the top of it or something like that.
Yeah, you could do things to conceal it if you wanted.
Okay. So I'm out there with my weapons. He's got his weapons, and I'm like, to tell you the truth, I do not like your kind. I've had a bad run-in multiple times.
You can't
But
say that
he's
in
got a point.
2021, man.
But but if you want a truce, let's both lay down our weapons and we can have a truce. And then I
You
slowly start
Truce.
lowering weapons and seeing if he matches me.
He relaxes the grip, but he keeps it in his hands.
Well, if he doesn't put it down, I'm not dropping mine.
Yeah, but aren't you just kind of cheating anyways? You can just recall yours by pulling on the chain.
All boggarts are cheats and swindlers. I'm just kidding.
I mean, if it's not, I don't know if we have a proper way of communicating with it. But if it's not preventing it, can we ask it if it knows a way across the river?
Yes.
I just reach out. Do you know a way across the river? We don't have to fight.
Truce. Garum. Truce. Upaka. Truce. You. Truce.
Who is Garum?
Garum. Garum.
Okay. Well, Bakla is your ride, your pet.
Obaka. He pats the slurk beside him.
Bruce.
Truce. You.
Bruce. Kalat.
You. Kalat. He points to wave. Kalat. 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 Truce.
Bakla.
Gives a slow nod.
Makes it easier.
You go.
Go? What's that?
Go.
I point to the tower.
Boggart. Home. You go.
So I'm gonna translate for you guys. This is his home.
Okay, right.
He wishes
right,
us to leave.
right.
Did he call me Kalat?
It's a ceremony thing. Anyways, we don't have to kill him. He seems kind of intelligent. If we can strike up truce with these people, it's better than trying to eradicate an entire species, right?
I just don't want to get eaten by another frog.
He's offering us the chance to walk away.
As long as they're not hostile, I don't have much problem.
Agree. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, we're leaving. Nice to meet you.
Oh.
Can't tell if he's saying
Watch.
go or if he's croaking.
Snake.
Watch what?
Watch. Snake.
Oh, snake.
You die.
There's a
Snake.
There's a snake where we're headed?
Okay. Oh, maybe there's a snake in the water. And it's hungry.
Or in the area.
Okay.
Maybe the river is the snake. Does he know what a snake is?
Yeah. Thank you for the warning. Where's the snake at?
Snake. Hungry. You die.
Well,
How-
seems
how
like
do
we're
we
off to
avoid the
die then.
snake?
Small snake? Big snake?
You go.
All right.
Watch out for a snake.
Truce.
Truce. I think I seek to leave. And I'm wary for anything that looks like a snake.
As you begin stepping away, he sets the great axe back out of sight again, though he watches you as you walk off.
Okay.
Any change of action to your course other than just being more aware, in particular for snake?
Basically, I check for snakes. That's the only change.
I mean, I assume in this forest there are a bunch of snakes around.
Gerrit pets his snake. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, was he talking about that?
One big snake.
What was his name?
Gerrit? No, it was a. It started with a G. There was an A in there.
Galm or something. Grom.
Gamut.
Garum.
Garoom.
Garum. Garum.
So, out scouting then? Or exploring?
I think so.
You get only about 5 minutes out, still sort of circling around the clearing that he was in, when you see up ahead of you just a hole in the ground that seems to have been dug about 10 feet wide, 10 feet across, going about 7 or 8 feet down. And in it, you just see a writhing pile of snakes.
Wow. You guys think this is the snake he was talking about?
Nah.
Yeah, you're right.
What kind of snakes are they?
A lot of varied looking snakes, though they seem to be appropriate to the region, just collected.
Are they
Do
all
you
listed
know
in
if
my
they
bestiary?
poisonous?
I think.
Sorry, I didn't catch either of you there.
Oh, I said, are they all listed in the bestiary?
Looking over them, they seem to be identifiable as relatively common snakes.
Are any of them identifiably poisonous?
Yes, not all of them, but the majority.
My question is, why are all the snakes of different species in one hole that has been purposely dug? Who dug the hole?
I kind of feel like him saying, be wary of the snake that's hungry was more of a threat than a warning. I think these might be his snakes.
I feel like it was more of a warning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm so ready. It is very conspicuous. We could
Can I do an investigation? I don't know what I'm investigating for. I just try to figure out who dug this hole.
Yeah, like
why are there snakes in it?
seeing if it's like a naturally dug hole or if there's any
Is
sign
someone
of...
feeding these snakes?
You can definitely tell that it is not like a natural hole. Like it was dug. You can even see some smaller roots that have just been like hacked off to make the hole. Taking a bit more time and sort of surveying it, you can also see a large amount of remnants of what was food. The snakes are clearly being fed here at far beyond the possible rate of wilderness critters happening to fall into the hole.
But this doesn't seem like a trap set up, like there's...
It is wide open, there's nothing concealing it, unless perhaps it was intended for someone traveling at night with very limited vision.
Fair.
But if you're setting a trap, you could make a better one than this, with less effort.
Just got a bunch of pet snakes. That's all.
Who wants a snake pit? And it's not one giant snake. It's like a bunch of different. How many snakes did you say? Was it in the tens?
It's in like the 60-ish range.
Yeah, someone had to go collect 60 snakes to build this pit.
What if the boggart has a family and his family has eggs and small little boggarts are natural food sources, snakes? So he round them all up but doesn't have the heart to kill them. So he feeds them.
Wait, hold on. Something broke in that train of logic right at the end there.
Just at the end?
I mean, honestly, I could have followed until like right at the end where it's like, this is my family now.
For me, it was the part where the boggart was feeding his pet snakes his baby children.
I didn't suggest that. He was feeding it other food sources.
So the snakes murdered his children.
No, he was going to have children soon, but he doesn't want snakes to eat his children. So he rounds them all up and feeds them. But it's a cat
right.
snake.
That makes much more sense than the initial approach that I mentally thought you were going for.
Yeah.
He has a family to have children which come in egg form so he could feed to the snakes.
That is also my takeaway at first.
That's what you said.
You people are just
What
evil.
a delightful pile of snakes to feed my children to.
He must
mean-
appease the snake gods. Give him
And
his first
alternatively-
through 70th born.
This might be how you raise Spartan level boggart. You just, if you live the snake pit, you are worthy.
I was born in the snakes. I'm one. Snake frog.
I mean,
Maybe he's collecting all the snakes in the area to find which one's radioactive and makes it's their version of Spider-Man.
I kind of need to figure out what's going on with this snake pit. I want to go back to this guy. Like, is that snake pit yours?
You're only a few minutes away if you wish to return.
I kind of want to know what's going on with the snake pit.
the snake pit is a very strange thing to come across, although I don't have much action for it other than dropping fire inside of it.
Yeah, I'll hang out. I don't have any direction on this one, so I'll just chill.
If
Take the lead.
yeah. If you want to go back, let's do it.
All right, I'm going back.
The boggart still seems to just be like looking out from the ruined watchtower, and as he sees you approach, he just grabs the axe again, holding it in his hands.
And
Truce! He calls out loudly.
Truce.
yeah. Truce. Hey, is that snake pit yours?
Nay,
Snakes or snake?
Gonna attack this poor man on his common.
snake, hungry. You die. You go. Truce.
Yeah, okay. Am I close enough where I can see what the red markings on them are? Are they snake bites or injuries, or are they just?
It looks like ritual tattoos. They're all
Okay.
like very even, very like
Okay.
completely even intervals across his body.
Okay. All right. Is Gerrit here with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Can I be like, point to his snake and be like, snake?
Snake.
Snake, you snake.
Maybe. Not super
Okay.
sure.
Snake. And he holds out a hand towards you, and it takes one step forward, but is still a good distance away.
Okay, I think the
Snake?
snakes might be his.
Okay. I mean, that seems to solve one. Snake me, and I kind of gesture the snake back into my robe.
You snake garum.
Snake me snake me.
Okay, I think we're done here. I think we answered enough
Truce.
questions.
Truce.
Oh, yep, he's reverted.
Yeah.
All right, so he's not willing to fight and kill people for snakes, which is good.
But I think those are his snakes.
Probably.
I think his snakes are hungry.
We have a collection of people that are hungry. We've just solved their food problem already.
I think
He's
by initiating the truce, he has warned us that we should not fall into the pit of snakes as they are hungry and we would die. Therefore, we should leave his snakes alone.
yeah.
And
This is a good thing. This is him telling us, yeah, he's warning us of the dangers of the area.
What if
we got that in the first interaction.
What if he's upset because his snakes have fallen into a hole and he can't get them out, so we need to free his
I
snakes?
think his
Yeah,
snakes are
go for
fine.
it.
I think his snakes are fine.
All right,
All right.
carry on.
All right, are we done here?
Hold on. There's
You are able to leave once more if you wish.
I like that. It's,
if we stay in
I've experienced this PC or NPC a few too many times. I think
if we he's a farmer, man. They're all farmers.
he's a farmer.
Listen, there's a
don't know
slight
anything.
chance that if we end up happening to be in this area tomorrow, I can teach my snake to speak and it can tell us how the snakes in the hole feel if you feel like it.
I need to make a character that can just continually learn new languages, so I can be like, all right, experience boggart. Okay, we gotta learn boggart.
There is an archetype called like multilinguist or linguist or something
Yeah.
like that, and I think that the intro, like the first feat into it, is you either learn 4 languages or 6 languages instantly.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
I have a potion for that too, I think, eventually. You
And
can,
I have
can
6
just,
languages.
you can just drink a beer that lets you speak any language. Oh, I
That
have
is
to
a lot
be,
easier.
I have to be level, oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so I have to be level 6 to get my snake to speak, but I could give it touch telepathy to translate for the snakes.
All right. Would we like to finish exploring the hex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leaving Garum and the snakes alone, you head off, continuing with your explorations, mapping out the area this side of the river quite effectively. Your night is uninterrupted, and you may mark this hex as explored, shy of the river.
Nice.
And we didn't find a crossing, I assume.
All strong river current throughout.
What I really need is like an instantly deployable bridge.
Or boat.
I mean, I guess that works too, in like a way less cool way. I'm imagining like a foam bomb that activates when it's in like pressurized by water. You throw it into the river and it just makes a big foam bridge.
I mean, I'm probably getting close to the point where my athletics is high enough that I can just drag you guys across the river one at a time.
You would be able to move people, horses, and supplies less so.
Oh, yeah. We're getting close to that. That'll be next.
Yeah.
Well, my survival's large enough and crafting's large enough. I will build a ferry for us, and then he can just ferry us across.
But
Interesting.
with that hex explored, I think that is a fine time to call session. I would like to know your like immediate next plan, so that when I write it down, I will be able to remind you of what your next plan is.
Continue
think-
on to the southwest towards Cruda,
I think-
exploring along
yeah.
the way.
Yeah,
We have
exploring
to
all
find
the
a
hexes
river
to
crossing.
find Cruda's place, and then probably doing a major like espionage scope out of Cruda's encampment and trying. I think I like the idea of the poisoned whiskey bottle a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how we'd implement that necessarily, but
I mean, I got the
we
poison bit covered.
And if
you have poison
we
that you could feed him that if he consumed it, he would die.
I mean, I've got a lot of poison
Okay.
that has varying effects.
we're also looking for Shmin Galfian Sua. So if we see like a waist height creature standing upright walking through the forest, or
Dude,
inside
anything
the,
anything
canvas.
short or ugly right now, it's on sight. Like
Yep.
Like a boggart.
Next session, I would like to go back to the snake pit and see if feeding it makes the boggart like me.
Oh no.
Also, do we follow the river south or north?
Isn't it southwest that the?
Yeah, but we got to find out how to get west. Is the problem
Mhm.
currently?
We don't have a river crossing, so we have to take a shot at south or north. I'd probably say south.
I'm saying south just so we open up more map.
Also,
south.
in very rough terms, the spot you were given, if you were to project your map out, you can see the cursor as it goes into darkness, right?
You think so, yeah?
Wait,
Yeah.
Like
Are
this?
there are conflicting answers.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's about like this spot is where you were told.
Okay,
just as a
your
note.
cursor.
We can't
cannot
see your cursor at all because you're on the wrong layer.
Oh, that would be it.
Hi.
About this spot.
Okay, so yeah, south.
Yeah.
we'll go south.
That
And
seems...
they're likely to have a crossing close to them so that they
and
can get across
the river
zone.
ends right over here, so we gotta
Yeah,
follow
for
the
sure.
river down
Ah,
and go
yeah, yeah.
around the river and come back.
Plus, going south leaves this hex unlit up, which makes me happy.
Okay, that makes me not happy, but I accept your happiness. We can go south.
Your happiness is valid, even though you're wrong.
And then we can just come up, like, well, next time we'll go up to Oleg's, and then we'll just cut straight out here, and, like, explore these, and just leave this entire row dark.
Oh, even better, all of our explorations will now be half hex explorations. We'll just spend half a day exploring half the hex.
No, no.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
session, Brian.
Thanks
It was
for
a
the
good one.
session.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have some spicy stuff in the next one.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Also,
Sorry.
just as a general note, if you do feel like you are getting a lot of loot and planning a return trip to town at some point in the future, you are welcome to just sort of plan out your shopping expeditions if you want to do that during the week. I'm fine to answer questions in there. I'm fine if we use session time on it, but it is an option if we want to move that part off Wednesdays. Up to y'all.
My planning
think-
is I'm just saving for that Ring of Duality or whatever it's called.
I think that handling that just like in the Discord can be very
Yeah.
time saving.
Agreed.
Yee.
All right.
All right.
Alrighty. Au revoir,
See ya.
Have a
y'all.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Bah.
Okay. I typed in a raid. Did it go? Oh, it did go. Cool. Send a raid over Gunsquatch. Tell him hi. Love some Halo for me.